After 28 weeks of frost swallowing the world, the cold froze not just bodies but humanity itself. A man in spike boots trudges across the ice, his frostbitten face proof that survival has been chewing on him. With resources scarcer than hope, he scans a strange area, praying for food or fuel worth more than gold. Through clear ice he sees a buried city, checks the thickness, and gambles another step. The ground suddenly quakes, turning solid ice into a death trap. The shrieking ice reminds him civilization is as fragile as frozen glass. The surface splits open, and he barely clings to the edge, knowing one slip means instant doom. Out of options, he drives in a hook and bets his life on a single grip. The hook skids uselessly, dragging him into an unstoppable slide. He crashes onto a shop roof entombed in ice and rolls into soft snow. Saved by the snow, he exhales, joking to himself that surviving this must mean good karma. The relief dies fast when blue triple-pupilled eyes glare at their new snack. Metallic fangs gleam in the dark, definitely not your average wildlife. It's a biped, notorious man-hunting monster of the frozen wasteland. Knowing he can't win, he runs, but the starving beast corners him anyway. First ice cracks, now dismemberment. Fate clearly has a sense of humor. Their chase rattles spear-sharp icicles hanging from above. The biped approaches eagerly, certain dinner is served. At the last second, a giant icicle drops and skewers the monster, ending dinner plans instantly. He barely relaxes before the surrounding ice starts cracking again. Round 2 incoming. The surface collapses completely, swallowing him into the darkness below. The fall dumps him straight into a deep sewer beneath the frozen city. In the icy water, a bizarre half-snake, half-snail creature slithers closer. Lonely too long and immediately parasitizes him like Hez, the new rental property. His eyes change color, the body lease is no longer fully his. Dizzy but standing, he has zero clue what cosmic nonsense just happened. A sharp pain at his neck hides the fact that the parasite has already rooted deep. Regaining focus, he flicks on a weak flashlight to navigate the sewer gloom. The beam catches on a precious chocolate bar frozen in the ice. In this era, food equals gold, so he pockets it and searches for a way back up. Outside buildings stand frozen like tombstones, making the sewers the only viable road. As he lowers a rope into the abyss, he quietly wonders how long this brutal life will last. His teammates are starving outside, and conditions in the shelter are somehow worse. When he returns, the other survivors' cold stares lock onto him. With supplies nearly gone, he knows one more push of despair can turn humans into beasts. In this frozen world, the line between reason and survival instinct is thinner than ice. Avoiding attention, he slips past the crowd before patrols begin. He stops at room 409 and knocks, hoping for a trace of warmth. The door flies open, and a girl smiles brightly as if she's been waiting forever. Surprised, he asks Xiaoming why she opened the door so fast. Xiaoming throws herself into his arms, giving the frostbitten man a rare dose of warmth. She whispers that she just wanted to see him sooner, like she'd waited all day. He laughs, having someone hope for your return is a luxury in this icy hell. Even so, he locks the door carefully, because here one mistake costs a life. He pulls out the prize he nearly died for, hoping to give the girl a rare surprise. Xiaoming eyes the strange item and asks what priceless treasure it is. Chocolate, he says, once ordinary, now worth risking your neck. She squeals and hugs him like he just delivered a vault of gold. But hearing there's only one bar, her joy melts faster than the snow. She snaps it in half and eats with a pout, ignoring his half-dead state. By the feeble heater, he worries days without real food is a bad trend. He stares at his hard-earned seed stash, hesitating, because eating them means killing tomorrow. Once you're chewing seeds, farming hope is officially bankrupt. If this drags on, he knows the survivors will lose their minds. He even thinks if monster meat weren't toxic, starvation wouldn't rule them. At least monster fat works as fuel better than freezing solid. The date reads February 14 and he realizes it's Valentine's Day. The thought jolts him, he almost forgot time exists in this icy hell. He turns to speak to Xiaoming, only to find her gone. Hearing noise outside, he wonders why she'd risk stepping out. He opens the door and calls her name, unknowingly walking into a trap. The moment he peeks out, a club smashes into his head. He collapses, vision spinning from the cheap shot. A man with a bat strides in, laughing like it's Christmas morning. With his arm around Xiaoming, the betrayal script is fully revealed. Broken in body and pride, he demands why she betrayed him. She coldly replies, one chocolate bar isn't enough to keep her. Lu Dalong sneers beside her, branding him pathetic. Lu Dalong declares the world has no laws now, just big fish eat small fish. The weak either cling to the strong or become dinner. He insists he has no food, but no one cares for excuses. Lu Dalong shatters his leg with a swing, ending the debate. Another blow cracks his jaw, teeth flying, mouth flooding with blood. The gang beats him and ransacks the room like starving wolves. All they find is spoiled grain, hardly worth the effort. Lu Dalong laughs that even small fish is still meat, meaning him. Half-conscious, is dragged away like livestock to slaughter. Burning with hatred, he swears to repay it 100-fold if he lives. The parasite inside seems to answer his vengeance with a strange voice. He suddenly wakes up unharmed, baffled at still being alive. The city glows lively, but Momo knows the world freezes in 28 hours. The final night before disaster passes calmly, with humanity's timer at 24 hours. Motorcades of power still parade as if order remains intact. In rich districts, lavish parties roll on, blind to doom. In Brooklyn's slums, gangs trade busily over soon-to-be meaningless deals. Everything looks normal, yet the world teeters on the brink. Among carefree crowds, only Momo stands still, he alone knows the future. A green aurora thrills the masses, snapping photos, he sees the apocalypse banner. His phone suddenly vibrates, yanking him from his thoughts. The screen shows Ming Ming, the ex who betrayed him, stirring bitter memories. He recalls her clinging to strength and abandoning him, leaving only contempt. Face darkening, he switches to speaker, ready to end things cleanly. On the line, Mingming plays innocent, asking if he's seen the pretty Aurora. She quickly reveals her true quest money to cover her maxed-out credit card. Momo coldly declares a breakup and hangs up before her drama gets airtime. He deletes her number, cutting ties with his former stupidity. In his icy heart, he figures people like her won't last the coming freeze anyway. At 11:58 p.m. in Brooklyn, he realizes he truly has a second shot at life. Remembering his past life, he knows the catastrophe hits in exactly 28 hours. With time tight, he plans to gather supplies and prep weapons within the hour. He hides an important item in his pocket, gearing up for survival mode. Two patrol cops spot him lurking at night and grow suspicious. The chubby-capped officer steps out, barking for him to freeze. Both officers draw guns, treating him like a top-tier threat. Momo raises his hands, knowing one wrong twitch equals a bullet. Calmly, he says the object in hand is just his phone. Seeing it's past midnight, he silently curses the ticking clock. Still, he keeps cool, hoping a quick check will set him free. He opens his backpack, claiming it only holds work gear. The rookie panics, mistakes it for a weapon, and fires. The bullet rockets toward him, death just a blink away. Momo freezes. Did he really revive just to die again? His will to live explodes, survival instinct maxed out. A mysterious blue light bursts from his body, flooding the air. Time seems twisted as the bullet slows before his eyes. He tilts aside to dodge, then roars at the shooter. Terrified, the rookie fires a second shot. Momo blitzes forward and knocks him out with one punch. The remaining cop trembles, gun shaking at the sight of the eerie blue glow. One of Momo's eyes shines brightly, even he has no clue why. The blazing aurora replaces city lights, heralding the coming ice age. The chubby cop frantically radios HQ, claiming the suspect attacked and stole a gun. He mutters in fear, clueless about the supernatural scene. Meanwhile, Momo slips through dark alleys like a ghost, shaking pursuit. He stops at his rented room, his temporary safe haven. Inside, he collapses to the floor, tension finally hitting him. Replaying the dodge, he wonders how he pulled off the impossible. Staring at the stolen gun, he decides to test the new power. He points the gun at a mirror, ready to experiment on himself. The instant he fires, blue light erupts around him again. The strange ability activates, definitely not a hallucination. He dashes to the bullet's path and catches it midair. Noticing odd white bone-like patterns on his body, he suspects they're linked to the power. Though confused, he smiles. This is a survival advantage. In the apocalypse, being one step faster means staying alive. Sudden pounding knocks snap him to alert. He opens the door to find the landlady looking worried. She asks if that was gunfire since there's been a robbery nearby. Momo lies smoothly, saying it was just the TV. Relieved, she reminds him to stay safe. Once the door shuts, his face turns serious. He reminds himself supplies matter more than anything. Recalling the nearby supermarket she mentioned, he sees a perfect stockpile. A Slyger informs time to loot before the apocalypse sale begins. At a nearby supermarket, the night clerk dozes off in front of the cameras. Momo appears quietly and swiftly grabs essential supplies. Using teleportation, he keeps vanishing from the camera's mid-shopping spree. The receipt printer suddenly goes berserk, jolting the clerk awake. She stares at the absurdly long receipt, confused because the store looks empty. A strange note on it warns her to go home quickly and stay safe. Before she can process it, two young robbers stroll in. They point guns at her, sending her into sheer panic. One yells for all the cash, classic robbery script, but his gun suddenly starts freezing over. The glass doors shatter as a brutal wave of icy air floods in. A massive monster with countless jagged mouths appears at the entrance. The robbers instantly realize this isn't your average thug. In desperation, they unload their guns at it. The bullets pass through, uselessly. Nightmare confirmed. The creature's grotesque hand grabs the blue-haired robber like takeout. It squeezes and rips his face off as if unwrapping candy. Sickening chewing sounds turn the supermarket into hell. Thudangan trembles violently, yet somehow keeps filming on her phone. Watching it devour a man alive nearly petrifies her with terror. At the police station, officers casually scroll through live streams. Suddenly, the stream cuts to an emergency alert, startling them. Citywide broadcasts blare warnings of an urgent situation. At that moment, Momo enters his prep room and hears it too. He instantly knows the familiar catastrophe has officially begun. The city's temperature plummets as icy air surges in. Brooklyn becomes the first district swallowed by the frost storm. In many apartments, speakers repeat orders to stay indoors. Some officers shrug it off as weird weather. Hearing the warning, Momo clenches his fists, no mistakes this time. Elsewhere, a gang boss tortures a captured man. He shows a photo as proof and forces a confession for drugging the boss' daughter. The victim trembles and denies it, but no one cares. Boss Long draws a knife, saying only God decides his fate now. He pins the man's arm to the table, ready for brutal punishment. The blade falls, blood splattering everywhere. Calmly, he collects the severed fingers like trophies. Boss Long orders the man burned for his alleged crime. The victim, tied in a sack, is dragged to the furnace like trash. The henchmen ignite the incinerator, worried the old machine might blow. Just before tossing him in, one senses something wrong. The furnace suddenly shakes violently and explodes, blasting them away. They crawl up in panic, clueless about the chaos. Meanwhile, Momo stays focused on crafting survival gear. After hours, he completes a planning rack for self-grown food. Though supplies fill the room, he knows hoarding isn't enough. His plan is to turn the apartment into a closed-loop survival system. Checking the time, he notes the ice age has begun over an hour ago, must hurry. In this freezing world, time is the most precious resource. Sudden urgent knocking shatters his focus. Opening the door, he feels eerie deja vu. Two building guards stand there, apologizing for the disturbance. They say the heating system has failed as temperatures nosedive. Momo recalls that in his past life this malfunction led to total failure. Refusing to repeat history, he offers to inspect and fix it. But hearing the furnace is in basement level 2, he immediately senses something's off. Momo cautiously follows the two guards to the basement, doubting his own memories. A bone-chilling cold engulfs them, making even the guards shiver. Amid icy white mist, Momo scans the area, sensing trouble. He checks the furnace, at first seeing nothing wrong. Then his hand touches a slick, freezing liquid danger alarm triggered. Behind the clueless guards, a white monster silently closes in. It swings and explodes a guard's head like a popped balloon. Ladu panics as the creature devours the body in seconds. Momo recognizes the nightmare fuel this white-skinned monster from his past life. With no choice, he teleports, dragging Ladu out of a fatal blow. Appearing behind the monster, he pants half a second slower and they'd be dead. Spotting the open exit, he dashes for freedom. The monster chases instantly at terrifying speed. Momo is stunned it's keeping up with his teleport bursts. He deduces carrying Ladu must be slowing him down. Out of options, he risks letting Ladu go. He hurls Ladu toward the exit to save him. The throw is perfect. Ladu lands safely in the hallway. Rolling to safety, Ladu realizes he just dodged death. Meanwhile, Momo turns to face the snarling beast alone. It slams the ground, shaking the basement like an earthquake. Muttering about missing fingers, it fixes its gaze on him. Momo notices its speed drops once Ladu is gone. He rapidly analyzes every detail of his power. Comparing before and after, he sees his ability has conditions. Eliminating possibilities, he concludes the key involved Ladu. He recalls Ladu emitted energy similar to his after being thrown. His eyes fall on scattered rubble as inspiration sparks. In that instant, Momo finally grasps his power's mechanism. He picks up a small stone, ready to weaponize the ordinary. A smirk forms. Hunter and prey may switch roles. He spins, launching his counterattack. The stone rockets forward at insane acceleration, piercing the monster. The successful test confirms his theory. If a target is infused with his energy, he can accelerate objects toward it. Boosted by acceleration, even pebbles hit like artillery shells. But suddenly, strange blue blood seeps from his eyes and nose. Momo panics as his body reacts violently. Agonizing pain rips through him. He collapses, vomiting blue fluid. Fading out, he hears Ladu calling his name. In the haze, Ladu begs him to wake up or risk dying in his sleep. He half-wakes amid chaos outside. A blizzard seals off the hospital. Ladu frantically orders people to block the wind or freeze to death. Voices around him urge him to hang on just a little longer. Madame Fang rushes in, directing them to carry Momo upstairs to Dr. Chu. Momo vaguely senses they're dragging him back from death's door. As they carry him, darkness creeps in again, his body ice-cold. The doctor is shocked his temperature is dangerously low, yet he lives. Records label him a suspected toxin case in a coma. Strange blue veins bulge on his body, though pulse and reflexes seem normal. Analyzing his blood, Dr. Chu finds extreme abnormalities. After centrifuging, his blood separates into an unknown blue substance. She studies his face with scientific curiosity. Initial judgment suggests the blue veins resemble a rare allergic reaction. Suddenly, Momo snaps his eyes open. Dizzy, he sits up asking what happened to his body. The woman before him urges him not to move, his still in serious danger. She lights a cigarette and laughs, oddly calm about the chaos. She introduces herself as an underground doctor, real name classified. "Just call me Dr. Chu," she says simply. With curious eyes, she asks what exactly happened in the basement. Dr. Chu bluntly admits his condition is fascinatingly unprecedented. Outside, Brooklyn has plunged to minus 29 degrees in a raging blizzard. Medically speaking, humans shouldn't survive such low body temperatures. Below 32 degrees can already trigger fatal heart arrhythmia. Theory says around 13 degrees is the absolute survival limit. Dr. Chu hands Momo a thermometer to check for himself. The display reads 11.5 degrees. Is stunned. Even the doctor calls his survival a miracle. Momo instantly suspects his power is behind it. Unwilling to waste time, he secretly tries to get out of bed. His weakened body betrays him and he collapses instantly. Dr. Chu calmly claims she's diagnosed his illness. She looks straight at him and asks if he has superpowers. Momo attempts to teleport away before becoming a lab project. The ability fails. Instead, he vomits blue fluid again. Panic hits his acceleration power 1 activate. Meanwhile, a man outside orders his subordinates to wait by the door. A knock echoes, putting both Momo and Dr. Chu on alert. Dr. Chu quickly pulls him up, asking for his hand as if preparing something. Realizing the danger, she orders him to stay absolutely silent if he wants to live. She tells him to shut his eyes and play dead no movement, no matter what, or has finished. With the stage set, Dr. Chu opens the door, ready to face the visitor. The door swings open. Lu Dalong appears, calm voice but oppressive presence. Though she despises him, Dr. Chu stays professional and asks what he wants. Lu Dalong steps to the bed to inspect Momo, who lies still, heart pounding. Dr. Chu coldly declares the patient died from poison, cutting off his excuse. Hearing the man who killed him in his past life, Momo burns with hatred but stays still. Rage screams for revenge, yet his frail body forces restraint. Lu Dalong leans closer, feigning concern while probing for signs of life. Suspecting a fake death, he offers to personally verify it. Dr. Chu snaps back, insisting the man is dead and warning him not to step further. Lu Dalong reveals his cruelty, drawing a knife and smirking, "One stab will tell." He raises the blade 1 second slower and Momo is done. Unable to watch a murder, Dr. Chu lunges to stop him. She slaps Lu Dalong hard, stunning the entire room. Coldly, she asks if he doubts her medical skill. The slap doubles as a warning. His men move to retaliate, but Lu Dalong signals them to stand down. he switches to fake politeness, apologizing while fury burns in his eyes. Lighting a cigarette, he blows smoke toward Dr. Chu, reminding her she's treated his men before. He pats her shoulder with a sinister smile, friendliness laced with threat. Whispering, he reminds her he backs this clinic, subtly asserting control. Before leaving, he casts a calculating glance. This isn't over. The door slams shut, his dangerous aura finally gone. Once Sure has left, Dr. Chu tells Momo to get up. The death act is over. Momo's mind floods with questions. Why did Luo Dalong want him dead? And why did Dr. Chu save him? Outside, Brooklyn hits -40, blizzard swallowing the city like doomsday curtains. In the apartment block, Luo Dalong's men guard the boiler, grumbling they don't want to inherit their dad's furnace duty. Luo Dalong crushes their hope, saying the weather won't improve, eyes haunted by disaster. He notes the government once updated nonstop, but now even the internet is dead. System collapse confirmed. To him, the freeze feels like God's punishment on humanity. A tied-up cop shouts back, asking why God didn't punish criminals like him first. Luo Dalong scoffs, claiming he merely manages the building with his own order. Ladu angrily exposes that his law forces residents to scavenge supplies in exchange for heat. Luo Dalong calls it fair trade. He provides warmth, they pay in labor. He even limits that room 409's tenant died, or had have gained another obedient pawn. Hearing room 409, Ladu panics. That's the man has worried about. Meanwhile, Momo slowly recovers, wobbling as he dresses in his weakened state. He meets Dr. Chu, and her first question makes him realize much time has passed. When he claims he was out 26 days, she reveals it's July 21. The world has changed. Realizing he was comatose 6 days, Momo freezes. Building order must be completely different now. Dr. Chu calmly reveals Luo Dalong controls the heating. No tribute, no warmth. Forced by survival, residents venture into blizzards for supplies, basically suicide runs. Hearing Luo Dalong's name, memories of his past life murder ignite Momo's killing intent. But revenge requires survival, so he asks Dr. Chu how to restore his body. She agrees to help but reminds him she's a black market doctor, nothing's free. With no options, Momo accepts and tells her to name the price. Her strange condition, he must become her exclusive research subject. Needing power to survive, Momo agrees without hesitation. Dr. Chu explains his blood contains an unknown substance that makes him unique. It absorbs thermal radiation and converts it into energy, especially under hypothermia. Simply put, his body is energy-starved. Feed it heat and calories, and hell recover. The problem is energy demand is massive, and her clinic lacks food. Luckily, Momo prepared in advance and says he has a solution. He secretly returns to his apartment, where supplies were hidden. Moving through the freezing dark hallway, he avoids attention. Anyone could be a looter now. Unlocking his door, he sighs in relief. His stockpile is still there. But stepping inside, he's stunned to see the room frozen solid. Luo Dalong clearly cut the heating, turning into a giant freezer. After digging through the biting cold, he finds his food stash. The highest calorie item is chocolate, perfect quick fuel. Without hesitation, he devours it to force energy absorption. Yet nothing happens at first, still not enough. He keeps eating, hoping the conversion finally kicks in. A wild hunger surges, as if his body is energy crazed. Suddenly, the door bursts open. A group notices room 4-9 unlocked. Seeing the abundant supplies, greed lights up their eyes as they step inside. Meanwhile, Momo's body shifted and his icy grin turned the air razor sharp. The gang spotted him and barked questions, but Momo only smirked. His inner beast had clocked in. At the clinic, Dr. Chu had just wrapped up her report on Momo's bizarre physique. Reviewing the data, she panicked. Too much sugar and had go full meltdown mode. She recalled the strange green liquid near the incinerator days ago, likely tied to this mutation mess. A closer check revealed a weird cell mass on the floor, cranking her suspicion to max. Sensing a jackpot discovery, she quickly collected samples without hesitation. Hungry for more clues, Dr. Chu headed to security to review the surveillance system. Right then, the government broadcast blared across the residential block. Authorities urged fair supply distribution, though many families were already starving. Meanwhile, Old Man Du was knocked out by Luo Dalong's lackey and dragged to a secret spot. Luo Dalong abused his manager title, demanding supply fees for anyone wanting heat. He cackled into the mic, hyping the crisis to drown the building in pure terror. The switch flipped, eerie laughter echoed, and something inside Momo began to awaken. A cold voice rang in his head, poking the deepest grudge, his hatred for Luo Dalong. The voice pressed him with one brutal question: did he truly hate Luo Dalong? Memories of being killed in his past life flooded back, leaving only Luo Dalong in his mind. Hatred detonated inside him. One answer remained: kill Luo Dalong. In madness, he lunged at a lackey as if striking his sworn enemy. Momo gripped the man's throat with monstrous force, crushing him from the inside out. He hurled the body out the window like tossing unwanted trash. Returning residents froze as the corpse plummeted from above. The last lackey stood stunned, unable to fathom such terrifying strength. A strange red glow radiated from Momo, screaming that fighting him was suicide. Knowing he'd lose, the lackey still charged. There was no escape left. Momo grinned wickedly, seeing only Luo Dalong in his opponent's face. He dodged with absurd speed, far beyond human tracking. The power gap sparked pure panic. The lackey realized he faced a monster. Momo even waved mockingly, like teasing his prey. The man rushed again in despair, each strike only speeding up his demise. He tried once more, but every effort crumbled before overwhelming force. In frenzy, Momo roared at Luo Dalong's phantom, daring him to stop running. Then he paused, eyes cold, as if ending the game. In a blink, Momo struck like lightning and finished the fight instantly. Suddenly, a voice from the doorway made him freeze mid-motion. Momo turned, stunned to see his ex-girlfriend standing there. In his hallucination, she aimed a gun straight at him. The shot rang out, yet he felt no pain. It was all a body auto control illusion. In reality, it was Dr. Chu, injecting him to suppress the energy surge. The medicine kicked in fast, draining Momo until he collapsed. Dr. Chu caught him, explaining insulin would break down the massive calorie overload. Surveying the supply-packed room, she gaped at his mountain-sized stash. She sighed. When hunger strikes, human cruelty wakes up. History proves it. Famine invites violence and war like clockwork. In this frozen world, agriculture is nearly extinct, making the crisis even nastier. Hunger may drag society into its old crime loop, yet she saw Momo as a rare exception. Though he went berserk from a calorie overload, luckily Dr. Chu's injection stopped a bigger disaster. Dr. Chu shook her head, had barely woken up, and was already back to dreamland. She then noticed the tomato plants inside, potential MVPs of the food apocalypse. Curious about Momo's crops, Dr. Chu slowly took a bite of the fruit. One taste in, even she was stunned. It was ridiculously delicious. She admitted the flavor was shockingly good, clearly no ordinary produce. Eyeing the fruit-filled room, she realized it could feed the entire building. Outside, the blizzard kept howling, trapping people indoors to slowly starve. A couple risked their lives for food, returning with scraps that left the wife nearly collapsing. The husband anxiously asked if she could endure, though he himself trembled from the cold. He searched for their last chocolate bar, hoping for a tiny miracle. Finding nothing, he panicked. He clearly remembered bringing it. The wife gently reminded him they'd fed it to their child that morning. He forced a bitter smile. They truly had nothing left. Starvation crushed him with despair, cursing himself for failing his family. Suddenly, a massive claw tore through the blizzard and killed him instantly. The wife watched in horror as a giant white-skinned monster emerged from the snow. It roared and crushed his body like a toy. After devouring him, it turned to her with a chilling grin. Frozen in terror, she couldn't even comprehend what stood before her. A distant voice suddenly shouted at her to stop standing there. High above the apartment block, a man yelled down at her. He screamed for her to run toward the building if she wanted to live. She sprinted with all her strength as the monster gave chase. The creature moved at terrifying speed, slicing through the blizzard like a hunting phantom. She ran and prayed desperately not to be caught. In panic, she slipped on the icy ground. Her body rolled across the freezing snow before she could rise. Turning back, the white-skinned monster's claw was nearly at her spine. Completely exhausted, she lay there awaiting death. From above, the man lit a liquor bottle and a nearby corpse. The flaming bottle was hurled down, exploding into a giant fireball. The blaze made the white-skinned monster howl, giving her a chance to dash for the building. She glanced back, briefly relieved the monster hadn't resumed pursuit. She rushed into the lobby, spotting the elevator and thinking she was saved, but the injured monster still chased her to the entrance. It shrieked madly, smashing everything in fiery rage. She frantically pressed the elevator button, begging it to work. The long-unused elevator gave zero response. The man above suddenly shouted for her to close her eyes. A blinding beam of light shot straight at the monster. The man gripped his weapon tightly, eyes cold with preparation. Then he grabbed an electric guitar and struck a piercing chord, launching a bizarre counterattack. Amplified by massive speakers, the guitar created a wild sonic wave ripping through the air. The white-skinned monster roared in agony, clearly suppressed by the sound wave. Amid chaos, Dorothy's memories surfaced. She had dreamed of becoming a doctor since childhood. Growing up, she lived kindly and worked hard for a simple, normal life. Then she met Matt, and it was love at first sight. Their bond felt destined, pushing them quickly toward commitment. They married, had a daughter, and bought an apartment in this complex. Then the world froze overnight, and the building sank into ice, violence, and monsters. Back in the present, Dorothy stood stunned, watching the man control the monster with a guitar. As the song ended, the suppressing sound faded, and the monster instantly regained its bite. The white-skinned monster roared and charged the man, furious at being mocked. Yet he stood calm and still, like he'd been waiting for this cue. He stomped a switch underfoot, triggering his preset trap. Massive steel beams rained down from the overhead structure like an iron storm. The monster couldn't dodge and was crushed under tons of metal. After one final howl, it was flattened beneath the steel heap. Dorothy shakily stood, unable to believe the nightmare was truly dead. Tears streamed down as memories of her brutally killed husband resurfaced. The man approached gently, helping her up and assuring her it was over. Together they cleared the area and lit a fire against the biting cold. Dorothy stared at her family photo locket, realizing her little family was gone. The man handed her a note, quietly offering condolences. By the fire, he smoked and brooded over the cruel world outside. He said mourning the dead wasn't enough, they had to protect the living. Dorothy listened, but suspicion lingered in her eyes toward the stranger. Silence grew heavy until he remembered they hadn't even introduced themselves. Dorothy broke the tension by offering her name first. The man nodded at her thanks and replied calmly. Curious, Dorothy asked if he too had gone scavenging like the others. He gave an awkward smile, saying his situation was complicated. Then he recalled something important and asked her to wait. He pulled out a photo, explaining he came here searching for a friend. The person in the picture was his high school bandmate. Dorothy examined it and realized the man likely lived in room 409. Suddenly, the entire apartment building shook violently. A distant, muffled boom echoed like something massive approaching. The man looked outside and instantly knew things were bad. A herd of white-skinned monsters was trampling through the snow toward the complex. Leading them was a gigantic queen monster, each step shaking the earth. At that sight, both could only think one hopeless thought: they were doomed. The tremors confirmed the monster horde was heading straight for the apartments. The The man clenched his fists, realizing the whole building was in danger. Meanwhile, Momo slowly regained consciousness, mind still foggy. He saw Dr. Chu focused on her equipment, unaware he was awake. Turning back, she said, perfect timing, the devices on him were installed. Momo looked down in horror at the gadget strapped to him and a strange collar. Dr. Chu casually explained collars had held many meanings through history. In some cases, they symbolized control and ownership. Seeing his tension, she assured him this one was purely for research. Momo objected immediately. Had agreed to research, not a leash. Dr. Chu calmly insisted it only monitored his internal reactions. She reminded him his body housed something special that absorbed and stored heat energy. Her theory claimed it had not one, but multiple states. The collar was specially designed to prove that secondary state. If his blood sugar spiked past a threshold, it would shift from blue to pink and trigger a response. Hearing this, Momo grew more confused about this mysterious second state. Dr. Chu asked if he remembered what happened 20 minutes earlier. Momo's memory was blank, like someone hit delete. Panic rose as he realized a crucial chunk of time was missing. Dr. Chu coolly said it didn't matter, the experiment would clarify everything. Her eyes gleamed with excitement, clearly viewing him as a prize project. Watching her walk away, Momo began to feel thoroughly exploited. Yet curiosity burned. He needed to know what secret his body was hiding. He swore that once stronger, he'd never let her pull his strings again. Right then, Dr. Chu activated the device strapped to him. Momo's body convulsed violently from the sudden reaction. He panicked as concentrated glucose was pumped straight into him. His blood sugar spiked, the collar flashing pink, danger mode unlocked. Momo gritted his teeth, realizing she was deliberately triggering him. Dr. Chu, meanwhile, gleefully recorded data as the response exceeded expectations. Her excitement made him feel like a premium lab rat. She placed a potted plant before him as part of the test. Staring at it, Momo sensed something oddly tugging at his mind. The sugar overload pushed his body into full loss of control mode. A red aura burst around him. The second state had awakened. A strange voice echoed, seemingly from within. A shadowy figure appeared at lightning speed in the space before him. Momo froze. It was another version of himself. He stammered, asking if the figure was truly him. The double calmly replied that Dr. Chu couldn't hear this conversation. While Momo spiraled, Dr. Chu stood frozen as if time stopped. He instantly suspected this being caused the time freeze. The creature smirked yes, but not entirely. The vague answer enraged Momo, demanding it reveal its identity. It claimed the phenomenon required both of them, not just itself. Pointing at the plant, it hinted Momo's own creations triggered this event. It removed its hood, revealing its true face to jog his memory. Though shaped like him, its essence was unmistakably monstrous. Momo realized in shock it was the same creature from before. The being nodded, confirming his guess was spot on. It revealed it had been linked to him all along. Even his rebirth and current powers were thanks to it. Transforming into human form, it extended a hand, proposing they coexist as one. Elsewhere, the National Logistics and Security Bureau remained one of the few active agencies. With the government paralyzed, it became the last fortress of order. An employee named Xiao Lu aside, the network still wasn't restored. Barbara teased that shed asked that nearly 30 times in 2 days. With communications down, they processed everything manually like it was the 90s. Barbara stood, asking if the report was done. She needed to submit it. Xiao Lu hesitated, but Barbara insisted on sending it immediately. She scoffed, knowing the higher-ups barely had time to skim. Sure enough, the supervisor glanced at a few lines and moved on. Frank Kitch entered the meeting, stressing they were in a survival war. He listed cascading crisis, climate chaos, cyberattacks, and lost field units. Barbara grew fed up with pointless political bickering. She kicked a chair, shouting they had no time for politics. Frank was then escorted to observe a newly collected specimen. One glance left him visibly stunned. Before them lay the corpse of a gigantic monster retrieved from the field. Researchers confirmed the creature was actually a mutated human. Barbara urged Frank to look closely at the object hanging from its neck. It was an identification tag matching logistics personnel. She explained it might belong to an operative missing before the network collapse. Security had found him dead and transferred him to the morgue. Yet within 24 hours, the body mutated into a grotesque being. Old CIA files revealed such creatures existed even before the global freeze. They played supermarket footage for Frank, showing 2 distinct creatures on record. One was dubbed the Hollow Shell, while the superpowered opponent labeled number 0 was none other than Lin Mo. Back to now, Momo faced the strange being that had just morphed into a young girl. A second ago, it was a grotesque monster, now human-shaped, leaving him utterly scrambled. The girl-like creature stared at him, and the uncanny vibe put him on full alert. It suddenly lunged, making Momo stumble back, heart racing as he suspected hallucination. But everything around him was frozen in time, clearly no ordinary illusion. The being read his thoughts aloud, calmly proving it existed within his consciousness. Realizing it could hear him think, Momo grew even warier of his roommate. The creature giggled, reminding him they had fused. Mind rating was basic package. It explained the injected sugar had awakened its consciousness inside him. It admitted the substance in his body was its blood, the source of all mutations. That blood granted power, meaning Momo was now permanently bound to it. He bluntly demanded why it chose to parasitize him. This wasn't random. The creature smirked as if parasitizing humans were just Tuesday business. It revealed its race wasn't human nor even native to this dimension. To understand and manipulate a world, they must inhabit intelligent native hosts. Momo irritably thought this sounded like bargain bin sci-fi nonsense. The being said its species lacked even a name they could define themselves. For them, time wasn't linear. Being trapped in space was both power and shackle. Unable to touch matter directly, they borrowed intelligent bodies to break limits. It confessed a craving to prove its existence. Without impact, existence was meaningless. Momo almost pitied its loneliness, though its nature remained highly suspect. The creature laughed smugly, mocking human empathy as predictable. It even claimed choosing humans as hosts was a brilliant decision. Then it warned coldly. Since their fusion, Momo had drawn the hollow shell's attention. Outside the apartment complex, a swarm of diseased mutant monsters began gathering. Big and small beasts crowded the building, clearly hunting something. The queen sniffed the target's scent and roared, signaling the hunt. At once, the horde charged straight into the complex. They smashed through every obstacle, unleashing unstoppable slaughter. In the lab, Momo pressed about the hollow shell, but the creature only smiled cryptically. It said to call its name when needed, hinting he already knew how. With a clap, it vanished from his mind and time resumed. Test tubes clattered as everything restarted, but outside, disaster had begun. The mutant horde flooded the complex like a tidal wave. They found humans instantly and began massacring floor by floor. Amid chaos, someone realized the exits were locked from outside. Residents pounded doors in panic. The building had become a human cage. At the incinerator where Luo Dalong held Old Man Du, the monsters soon caught human scent. Old Man Du stared at the grotesque creatures, utterly baffled. Luo Dalong's lackeys were torn apart before his eyes in brutal fashion. Old Man Du watched coldly, forcing calm to assess the slaughtering beasts. After seconds of study, he recognized them as the recorded red-type monsters. Watching closely, Old Man Du realized the beasts were drawn to human blood. Humans were the menu. They went berserk at the scent of blood, meaning discovery equaled instant shredding. Two monsters were busy slurping blood, giving him a slim escape window. But the ropes were too tight, and no sharp edge was in sight. Calmly muttering, he figured it was time for an old-school gamble from his youth. Gritting his teeth, he snapped his finger joint with a sickening crack to shrink his hand. With the dislocated joint, he slipped free and untied himself silently. Not wasting a second, he sneaked off before the monsters noticed live prey. He assessed quickly, hesitate for seconds, die instantly. So he risked it all and headed for the security room with stored weapons. Luckily, Luo Dalong's idiots hadn't realized it was an armory. But luck ran dry when a monster sniffed him out inside. Old Man Du cursed inwardly. If surrounded now, he was finished. In the lab, Dr. Chu observed the plants and noted abnormal growth due to Momo's influence. She reminded him his power with short-term overuse would crash his body. Momo impatiently demanded the devices removed. She had her data. Suddenly, violent crashes erupted from above the lab. Dr. Chu was confused, but Momo instantly sensed danger incoming. A white-skinned monster smashed through the door into the lab. The parasitic voice echoed, warning the true terror was the hollow shell. Momo jolted, so it was still watching inside his mind. It cut him off, saying no time for questions. The monster was about to kill Dr. Chu. It bluntly warned that if he didn't act now, she'd die before his eyes. With no time to hesitate, Momo shouted an apology and moved. Activating his power, he grabbed Dr. Chu and dashed at extreme speed, making the white skin crash into a lab table. The burst of speed pulled her away at the last second. After setting her down, he urgently asked if she was hurt. Dr. Chu regained composure fast, even curiously sensing his power up close. Asked about the monster, Momo admitted he had no clue what it was, just insanely dangerous. He turned back and declared he'd handle it himself. Dr. Chu repeated her warning. Overuse meant bodily collapse. Before fighting, Momo unexpectedly thanked her. Extreme methods aside, Shed helped him. She laughed, amused he chose this deadly moment for gratitude. Momo replied to wait until after he finished the monster. But things worsened as not one, but a whole pack of whiteskins flooded the lab. Seeing them move like a coordinated hunting pack, Momo realized they acted collectively. One, he could risk a swarm like this meant collapse before victory. Meanwhile, at the incinerator, human scent drew more monsters near Old Man Du's hiding spot. Any unlucky soul discovered was torn apart instantly, blood splattering everywhere. Amid slaughter, Old Man Du kept his icy gaze, survival at any cost. Dr. Chu teased Shed look forward to his thanks. Momo answered, if him alive. The whiteskins charged together, forcing him to study their movement fast. He spotted the only weakness: the head. Survival meant striking there. With no choice, Momo activated enhancement state, power erupting through him. Through monitoring systems, Dr. Chu saw his glycogen levels max out. He dodged a whiteskin's pounce and calculated an energy-efficient battle plan on the fly. Instead of clashing head-on, Momo locked one monster's head to weaponize its weight. He hurled the corpse into its kin, smashing their formation. But the pack regrouped fast, clearly not brainless predators. Even so, Momo clenched his teeth. This time, he wouldn't be prey. He activated acceleration, making time feel sluggish around him. In that state, he could read every incoming move. Exploiting the edge, he precisely downed two beasts and slipped the encirclement. Without pause, he charged the swarm, fists locked and loaded. He knew enough speed meant bare hands could destroy them. His accelerated punch unleashed a supersonic shockwave burst. The monster's friction shredded whiteskin bodies into exploding gore. A few survivors backed off, and he smirked. Fear had entered the chat. Through cameras, Dr. Chu saw he was optimizing energy far better than before. After the brutal clash, had used less than 10% of his reserves. The discovery only deepened Dr. Chu's fascination. She even egged him on to keep fighting, curious about his true limit. Momo guessed she still saw him as premium lab material. Regardless, he reinforced his muscles and unleashed another supersonic burst, crushing the pack. When it ended, the lab was carpeted with monster corpses. His blood sugar levels quickly stabilized. Over 80% of his glycogen remained. proof he was finally controlling the energy Dr. Chu had triggered. Studying the carnage, Dr. Chu realized the situation had entered a new phase. Looking at Momo, she sensed he knew far more about these creatures. She demanded he disclose everything for research purposes. Elsewhere, Old Man Du fainted from exhaustion, then slowly awoke. Opening his eyes to chaos, he couldn't recall what just happened. In his hand was a bloodied crowbar impaling a white-skinned corpse. Memory returned. Without that crowbar, he'd be dead. He knew if more monsters came, luck wouldn't bail him out twice. Suddenly, his phone rang despite the network being down. He answered, and a polite voice introduced himself as George Castillo. The caller even addressed his secret name, Lord Luan Tao. Meanwhile, Momo told Dr. Chu most of the truth except the dying Gandrabirth part. He zipped up Dr. Chu's jacket, baffled. Shed changed clothes mid-chouse. Calmly, she told him to look at the ceiling before asking more. She explained a white skin had crawled through maintenance ducts, wrecking systems and altering the area's temperature. Right then, frantic knocking echoed like someone begging for help. Opening the door, they saw a little girl standing there in panic. Momo recognized the neighbor kid and called out to her. She didn't answer, just turned and ran, forcing him to chase. Reaching the hallway, Momo froze at the horrific sight. Blood stained the floor crimson like a fresh massacre. Mangled corpses littered the corridor straight out of hell. Stepping carefully over bodies, he followed her toward the stairwell. There, she stood beside an unconscious Old Man Du, still gripping the bloody crowbar. Momo's heart dropped. He thought Old Man Du was dead. Past life memories surfaced of the kind man who once shared food with him. Remembering his tragic fate in the previous apocalypse, Momo rushed to check him. Suddenly, Old Man Du grabbed his hand, startling everyone. Weakly opening his eyes, he muttered he wasn't dead and still owed Momo a meal. The girl quickly pulled Dr. Chu closer to Old Man Du. Trembling, she asked if she was a doctor. Spotting the red cross on her coat, the little girl begs Chu Yixing to save Du Weng. Chu Yixing studies the girl briefly, then quietly steps forward. She breaks protocol and starts treating Du Weng right there in the hallway. Du Weng explains that after escaping the boiler room, he tried reaching security, but the first floor was swarming with Bei Pai. He slipped through the fire exit and regrouped with a few surviving residents. As monsters multiplied like bad gossip, they fled to higher floors. On the way, they ran into Luo Dalong, blocking the path with a gun. The madman calmly shot residents one by one. Blood splattered while Bai Pai dragged the corpses away for an instant feast. Enraged, Du Weng roared at him, demanding what the hell he was doing. Luo Dalong casually admitted he was using the weak as bait to stall the monsters. Even aiming at a little girl, he sneered that the weak are born to die. Du Weng leapt in front of the girl, took the bullet, and collapsed. Chu Yixing removes the bullet, saying it missed vital spots but has lost a scary amount of blood. Hearing Luo Dalong's name, Momo mutters softly, his eyes turning icy. He steps forward in silence, and Chu Yixing senses he's about to act. Momo activates his ability, killing intent blazing in his eyes. Elsewhere, Luo Dalong keeps slaughtering despite desperate pleas. He smugly claims the pile of corpses will lure the monsters away. Feeling safe, Luo Dalong opens an old storage room to hide. But as he's about to enter, real danger waits ahead. A shadow suddenly appears behind Luo Dalong before he can react. Momo removes his hood, eyes murderous, coldly greeting his old friend. Panicking, Luo Dalong fires wildly, thinking Momo was long dead. With superhuman speed, Momo dodges every shot and charges in. In one strike, he severs Luo Dalong's limbs and grips his head like prey awaiting judgment. Desperate, Luo Dalong asks why, claiming they had no grudge. Momo replies coldly that he's right because those crimes happen in the future. Dragging him to the balcony above the waiting Bai Pai, Momo warns him to live better in the next life. But memories of innocent deaths only fuel his rage further. Momo roars that this fury isn't just for Luo Dalong. It's also for his own past naivety. Flames of his ability erupt, burning Luo Dalong alive on the spot. Momo then tosses the corpse down to the monsters. He vows coldly that anyone who crosses him will pay 100-fold. In the freezing apartment block, Du Weng and Little Mai huddle by a small fire. Chu Yixing surveys the room and realizes it was looted and turned into storage. Still, the leftover materials can help them build a temporary shelter. Momo sits in silence after killing Luo Dalong. He wonders why revenge feels so hollow. Victory brings no relief, only an odd emptiness. Chu Yixing sits beside him, gently patting his shoulder and asking what's on his mind. She says many ability users carry extreme emotions, whatever his grudge may be. At least in her view, killing Luo Dalong is something to be grateful for. Surprised, Momo asks if she also has history with that man. Seeing she won't revisit the past, Momo stands and changes the subject. He inspects the room and notes it's safe but lacks a heating system. From the ceiling layout, he deduces the building once had heating pipes. With Du Weng injured and little Maggie too young for the cold, relying on a flimsy fire means they'll eventually collapse from exhaustion. Du Weng agrees but reminds him the building is now packed with monsters. The girl keeps sneezing from the cold, making things urgent. Du Weng says he knows a risky way to restore the heating system. Following the instructions, Momo sneaks along the maintenance pipes to investigate. As he ventures deeper into the dark pipes, a horrifying scene greets him. Human corpses and Bai Pai bodies lie piled up like a battlefield aftermath. A strange noise at the door instantly puts him on guard. But the one rushing in is Chu Yixing, hurrying over. With no time to dodge, they crash into each other and tumble down. Chu Yixing clamps a hand over his mouth upon spotting a strange creature approaching. They hide in a dark corner, silently watching it prowl. Chu Yixing explains Du Weng forgot to mention the boiler room requires 2 operators. The system was designed for dual technicians to avoid accidents. She warns that Momo is nearing a weakened state, so going alone is basically suicide. While hiding, Momo studies the creature and realizes it's nothing like a bai pai. Recalling Duwang's words about monsters sucking blood through pipes, he suspects a bigger purpose. That thought makes him glance out the window to trace the blood source. What he sees leaves them both stunned. Countless pipes created by bai pai cling to the building, all feeding into a colossal bai pai queen. The monster's swollen belly sloshes with dark red liquid like human blood. Suddenly, a strange light flashes from an upper floor, drawing attention. It's a Morse code signal from someone inside the building. Bin quickly recognizes the complex signal as an urgent message. After decoding, it clearly warns do not enter the building. But misunderstanding it, Bin wrongly tells Dorothy they should go in. Trusting her, the two recklessly enter the apartment block anyway. Meanwhile, Linmo and Chu Yixing face the Bai Pai Queen blocking their path. With no detour left, Linmo decides to gamble for an opening. He deliberately makes a loud noise to lure the monster away. When it turns to check, they swiftly slip into the pipe structure. Inside isn't a normal pipe system but a grotesque monster nest. Human corpses and baby Bai Pai fuse into a giant skeletal frame, birthing something new. From the flesh heap emerges a mutated Bai Pai, pulling a sword from its own body and charging. The creature targets Chu Yixing at terrifying speed. In that life-or-death instant, Linmo reacts purely on instinct. He throws himself in front of Chu Yixing to block the fatal strike, but nearly out of energy, he's completely overpowered. Panting and sweating, he realizes this foe far surpasses normal Bai Pai. The monster calmly advances with sword in hand, confident in victory. Clutching his bleeding shoulder, Linmo staggers from the deep wound. He knows this thing is no ordinary Bai Pai anymore. In its eyes, Chu Yixing reflects as a special target. A strange impulse makes it roar and lunge at her. Its ghost-like speed erases the distance instantly. Linmo exhausts his remaining strength to shove Chu Yixing aside. The blade instead slashes deep across his chest. Gritting his teeth, he knows even he can barely handle that speed. To keep fighting, he must burn his last reserves of energy. As the monster closes in, death flickers through his mind again. Just then, the parasite inside him coldly tells him to run. Linmo refuses, saying fleeing now would make him no better than Luo Dalong. Gasping, he insists the world may be cruel, but he won't lose his humanity. He continues speaking to the parasitic entity within him. Linmo asks if it can feel the storm of emotions raging inside him. Clutching his chest in pain, he says every innocent death shakes his heart violently. He reminds it that since ancient times, humans saved each other, that's civilization's foundation. Determination blazes in Linmo's eyes as he realizes there's only one path left. He presses his hand over the wound in an X shape, green energy veins erupting around him. Violent energy erupts from his body, glowing like a raging waterfall. The Bai Pai senses danger and slashes out two shipped energy waves. In Chu Yixing's eyes, Linmo's body begins a total transformation. A new Bai Pai-like form emerges, stunning her. Linmo shifts into a white form far stronger than the monster. In this form, he confronts the enemy head-on. The Bai Pai roars in panic, overwhelmed by Linmo's crushing aura. The parasite inside him chuckles, pleased his brushing against true power. Linmo charges with a massive punch, forcing the foe to block with its sword. He follows with a brutal kick and relentless combo, leaving no time to react. Yet Linmo feels his speed still isn't enough. Chu Yixing notices the parasite layer absorbing ambient energy to feed its host. She begins doubting the true nature of his internal power. Mid-fight, Linmo admits the enemy wields energy strikingly similar to his. That similarity makes the battle painfully difficult. The Bai Pai slashes hard, but Linmo swiftly dodges. He counters with a punch that staggers it. Linmo realizes his core ability is acceleration, so he conceives reversing that acceleration process. Suddenly, the Bai Pai lunges straight at Chu Yixing. Horrified, she realizes she's the target. Linmo roars for it to stop. He smashes the floor, shaking the entire space. The monster's blade stops inches from Chu Yixing's forehead. In that split second of death, Linmo dashes in. His eyes blaze with battle intent. He declares this time he'll erase the enemy completely. His punches and kicks move so fast they leave after images. A fatal punch pierces its abdomen, exploding the Bai Pai into pieces. Chu Yixing trembles in the corner as silence returns. Linmo reverts to human form and offers her a hand up. The system shows 26C, the boiler room is running again. But relief fades when Maggie cries, her mother still missing. Reassuring Lao Chio that the others gathered on the death floor, Linmo stays calm despite a bad omen. Before anyone reacts, the heater collapses, turning the room into chaos. From the dusty rubble, a dark figure crawls out, tensing everyone instantly. Thinking it's a blood trick ambush, Linmo and Lao Chio take battle stance, ready to strike first. Maggie suddenly screams "Mom," freezing them as the situation shifts. Dorothy and Cobbin crawl out of the debris they followed the heating pipes here, gasping for air. Maggie quickly recounts the chaos white monster stormed in. A blonde man fired shots, Gales was hurt then saved. Before it sinks in, Cobbin shouts Linmo's name like greeting a long-lost buddy. He rushes to hug Linmo like a reunited brother, leaving the room utterly confused. Hearing Cobbin cross the continent just to find him, Linmo is so stunned veins bulge near his eyes. Annoyed by the forced brotherhood, Linmo punches Cobbin and growls not to call him that. Cobbin clutches his cheek, whining that even his father never hit him. Seeing the oddly familiar reaction, Linmo suspects the world's memories shifted after his rebirth. Cobbin clings to Linmo's hand as if afraid he'll vanish again. He babbles about forming a band with Slash and Henrik, which sounds increasingly absurd to Linmo. Shaking him off, Linmo inwardly curses the mysterious blonde who dragged this mess here. Fragmented memories make him realize not just the future, perhaps the past has derailed too. With no answers, Linmo calls out to the parasite in his mind, hoping it knows something. But this time the parasite stays completely silent, infuriating him by vanishing when needed most. Chu Yixing coldly cuts off the quarrel, saying this isn't reunion hour. She urges everyone to face reality. The danger outside is worse than any misunderstanding inside. Outside the window stands a colossal Bai mother, its aura choking the entire building. Chu Yixing admits the heater's fixed, but the real threat is just beginning. The baby Bai and Blood Trick are transporting blood. Soon the whole complex will be assimilated. Linmo deduces that if this continues, they'll face more great sword-wielding Bai. He boldly claims he can handle them, but Chu Yixing warns it's not that simple. She notes that after using Black Kill, his Black Panther glowed brighter, a sign of heavy energy drain. That state burns massive heat, and Linmo is their only match for mutated Bai. To survive, he must fight, but without heat, he won't even manage resistance. Cornered, a sudden idea flashes and Linmo turns to Chu Yixing. He asks about spare materials. Clearly a new plan is brewing. Without explaining, he borrows Lao Qiao's crowbar and charges at a pile of wood like a mad carpenter. Prying nails, he says whether Blood Trick or Bai, the core issue is energy for battle. By his simple logic, humans are iron, food is steel, no meals, no monster slaying. Chu Yixing laughs, realizing he plans to build a hydroponic box mid-apocalypse. Linmo casually says that's practical thinking. Feed people first, save the world second. With the group growing, ignoring food means guaranteed collapse. He knows hunger makes humans useless, so this time he'll prepare ahead. Puffing smoke, Chu Yixing asks the next step. Hydroponics can't conjure food from thin air. Linmo's eyes sharpen as he prepares to reveal the key move: feeding people while fighting monsters. He notices all corpses and bloodstains on the floor have vanished. Something is collecting them. Recalling the earlier Bai, he suspects a mastermind harvesting bodies to nurture something dangerous. That means Blood Trick will soon reach this floor, forcing action before chaos erupts. He considers using Black Kill to wipe out the root, despite the brutal energy cost. But to trigger that power, he must first solve two basics: heat and food. While calculating alone, Cobbin suddenly appears behind him, calling his old nickname. Linmo turns, irritated that Cobbin clings like they're lifelong buddies. Cobbin thinks he's being looked down on for being poor, ranting louder until Linmo wants earplugs. He insists they're brothers, so just speak openly. But Linmo suddenly pales. Something they shouldn't see again stands before them. The same Bai from before is here, clearly hunting this time. A memory flashes under a bridge in childhood, lonely Cien shivering in cold rain. A friend finds him, teasing that he always hides here after being kicked out. Cien smiles rarely, eyes lighting up at dreams of songs they once shared. He points at the shabby bridge, joking that hiding under junk hardly counts as hiding. The friend offers a hand, pulling him up from that pit of loneliness. Laughing, he says if you run with friends, that's real style. Grumbling, Cien finally stands and follows that foolish friend. Back to the present, Linmo grabs Cien's hand and bolts without hesitation. He drags him away just as the giant Bai crushes where they stood. Gasping while running, Cien mutters that fleeing like this isn't very cool. Sweating hard, Linmo realizes Blood Trick has reached the 4th floor. He must retrieve the seeds now. Cien's still woozy, yet whining that running should look cool, which drives Linmo nuts. He insists Linmo once said that himself, making it sound even more absurd. They sprint while arguing at full volume, neither backing down. The noise finally backfires with a thunderous explosion. The Bai smashes through a wall and thrusts a giant hand into the rubble to grab them. Cornered, Linmo has nowhere to dodge as the hand slams down. The Bai grips his head and lifts him up like savoring a doomed snack. Crushing pressure suffocates him, his skull nearly cracking. Just then Cobbin appears in the distance, holding a lit bottle of liquor. He shouts to draw the monster's attention away from Linmo. The flaming bottle hits the Bai's arm, fire flaring and forcing it to release him. Linmo is hurled into the Blood Trick membrane coating the wall. The instant he touches it, he feels the vile substance devouring him. The more he struggles, the deeper it drags him inside. Darkness creeps in, leaving only regret and fury in his mind. When he opens his eyes again, he's alive and completely unharmed. The surroundings are utterly unfamiliar, putting him on guard. He scans the area, baffled how he arrived in this strange place. A chilling intuition tells him this is no reality. Before him hangs a bound woman, half human, half Bai, impossible to define. He calls out cautiously, unsure if she's alive or just a suspended corpse. Suddenly she opens her eyes, a frigid stare dragging him toward an abyss. Linmo recoils instinctively, heart pounding with unexplainable dread. In a blink, the world twists and pulls him into a foreign memory space. Standing amid the bizarre scene, Linmo has no idea where he is. Two boys play ahead, their carefree laughter echoing like a distant past. Noticing familiar curly hair, Linmo is stunned. One child is himself. The blonde boy beside him is unmistakably young Cien. Yet these memories don't exist in his mind, making him doubt his own past. Another younger version of Linmo appears, grabbing his hand and deepening the chaos. The blonde boy points at him, declaring Cien is his friend, as if sealing that bond. Just as things near clarity, urgent shouts yank him back to reality. Cien is dragging him out of the Blood Trick membrane, swallowing him. Yanking and cursing nonstop, Cien is furious. Linmo nearly died. Freed at last, Cien demands answers while Linmo remains shaken by the strange memories. He shoves it aside. There's still a giant monster waiting. The colossal Bai stands firm, barely affected by fire and nearly impossible to kill. Hobloaded, Cien readies another Molotov, determined to burn it down. Linmo stops him, knowing it's pointless. He calmly explains the Bai absorbs heat and regenerates rapidly. Cien doesn't listen and throws it anyway, earning Linmo's silent curse. The explosion erupts, yet the monster is unharmed, proving Linmo right. With no retreat left, Linmo decides to face it using Black Kill. But his body won't transform, he lacks the energy to activate it. Trapped, his mind races at full speed for a solution. He recalls the monster absorbs heat, and so can he in Black Kill form. If he uses surrounding heat as fuel, he might still trigger the power. The idea ignites his eyes finally, a path to survival. Without hesitation, Linmo charges straight at the Bai-Pai to execute his reckless plan. A flash of his past life hits endless, fleeing from Bai-Pai while teammates drop one by one. After too many deaths, Linmo once told Lao Qiao he was done running. Back then, he swore to stand and fight instead of fleeing again. Returning to the present, Linmo holds that resolve and finds the Bai-Pai's weak spot. He touches its body and activates Black Kill, draining all surrounding heat as fuel. Cian watches dumbfounded as horns sprout from Linmo like a demon upgrade. Linmo enters a pre-Black Kill state, power erupting wildly. He unloads a full-force punch straight into the monster's abdominal weak point. After blasting it away, Linmo turns to Cian, eyes stern, ready to say something important. In Black Kill form, he coldly declares his past self and the man Cobbin knew are no longer connected. Cobbin doesn't care and instead excitedly praises how cool Linmo looks now. That carefree reaction leaves Linmo realizing this guy completely missed the point. Dropping the pointless talk, Linmo shifts back to battle mode. He warns this Bai-Pai is far tougher than the previous monsters. He immediately asks Cobbin how much fuel remains to plan accordingly. Cobbin opens a guitar case stuffed with Molotovs, baffling Linmo on how he carried it all. Right then, the Bai-Pai begins moving, signs it's fully waking up. Cobbin nervously asks if they should run, and the word makes Linmo freeze. Run drags up painful memories from his previous life. Images of fallen comrades without graves tear at his heart. This time Linmo clenches his resolve, no more running. Without warning, he charges straight at the Bai-Pai to end it. Cobbin watches in shock, realizing Linmo has truly changed. Linmo roars provocations, forcing the monster fully awake. His mind instantly calculates tactics to minimize energy loss. Noting its strong regeneration but slow reactions, he keeps striking its weak point. Lightning-fast blows leave the monster unable to retaliate. After several exchanges, Linmo retreats to set up the next step. He shouts for Cobbin to begin their coordinated plan. Instantly understanding, Cobbin hurls all the Molotovs at the Bai-Pai. The bottles smash and explode in rapid succession. The creature's flammable fat ignites into a raging inferno. As predicted, it still regenerates, prompting Linmo to execute Phase 2. He closes in and activates Black Kill, absorbing all heat from the flames. The enemy's own body heat becomes his combat fuel. Feeling power surge, Linmo's spirit flares with fierce momentum. Fueled by the new energy, he reaches peak battle state. Linmo dashes in for the finishing blow. His terrifying speed tears up the ground behind him. At the perfect distance, he channels everything into one strike. His heat-charged hand targets the monster's core. The fatal blow pierces through, blasting flesh and blood apart. After the fight, Linmo reverts to normal form but stands firm through sheer will. He realizes the plan wouldn't have worked without Cobbin's help. Linmo pulls Cobbin up, rare concern slipping through. Yet within seconds, his reminded Cobbin's foolish nature remains unchanged. Cobbin rambles on about farming plans and Linmo's superpowers. Suddenly, the energy bracelet on Linmo's wrist emits a strange sound. On the other end, Chuishing reports she's found important good news. She says they discovered old supplies in storage, including a TV and useful equipment. More importantly, they secured seeds and nutrient solution to start planting. Hearing that, Linmo nods, at least their self-sufficiency plan has hope. Following Chu Yixing's instructions, the group heads to the old lab, leaving Cobbin wide-eyed in awe. Cobbin can't believe this house has a lab, while Linmo only cares about finding the mentioned box. He soon locates the mysterious box but has no clue what it does. As Cobbin keeps yapping, Linmo grows more suspicious of Chu Yixing. Seeing dangerous organism on the label sends a chill down his spine. He begins suspecting Chu Yixing secretly researched Bai-Pai. Just then, Cobbin accidentally hits the computer, powering it up. Linmo snaps at him for touching others' equipment. Too late, the screen lights up, loading data mid-argument. Amid Cobbin's rambling, Linmo suddenly decides to check the computer. He instantly changes tone and orders Cobbin out to find more supplies. Grumbling, Cobbin is still kicked out. Alone, Linmo starts digging into information about Chu Yixing. Before long, he uncovers a striking detail. On screen appears a young Chu Yixing, looking completely different from now. Studying the NGO badge in the photo, Linmo realizes her past is far from simple. The group later returns to where everyone is waiting. Cobbin excitedly reports their search went smoothly. Chu Yixing immediately tells him to be quiet. Due to limited access, they only found seeds and some planting tools. Linmo regrets not finding food, but at least farming can begin. La Qiao offers to help, but Linmo stops him because he's injured. Chu Yixing volunteers, citing her knowledge of botany and biochemistry. She watches Linmo closely, gauging his reaction. Linmo meets her with a sharp stare. He clearly suspects her too. Cobbin jumps in, offering help, breaking the tension. Linmo cuts him off, knowing he'd only cause chaos. Returning to the matter, Chu Yixing mentions the item she asked Linmo to find. Linmo produces the vial but still doesn't grasp its purpose. When she reaches for it, he pulls back immediately. He stares straight at her and demands answers. He bluntly asks what her true identity is. She smiles, as if expecting he'd figure it out. Linmo presses on, asking if the vial was bait to lure him here. She finally reveals her real name is Chushua, a former agent of the National Security Bureau. Opening the vial, she says it's not medicine but the key to their survival. Whether farming to live or gathering energy to fight the mother outside, all depends on this. Chushua guesses Linmo planned to use red limit to accelerate crop growth. But his current energy isn't even enough for stable combat. Though he absorbs environmental heat, his energy storage organ lacks efficiency. Strengthen that organ, she argues, and entering red limit becomes easy. Overwhelmed by information, Linmo raises a hand to pause. Chu Shuya smiles and taps the vial lightly against his chest. She bluntly says if he wants to live, he must implant what's inside. Linmo gives an awkward laugh, clearly worried about rejection reactions. Suddenly, Black Kill erupts within him and sucks the vial into his body. The speed of it leaves even Chu Shuya stunned. Black Kill spreads and devours the veil before her eyes. Linmo has no idea what's happening to his body. The vial is dragged deep inside as if Black Kill craves its energy. Within seconds, the entire solution is fully absorbed. Afterward, Black Kill roars violently inside him. Chu Shuya immediately suspects this is the parasitic energy source fueling him. Linmo's body rapidly regenerates, energy surging to red limit. Thrilled, he realizes he can finally begin true cultivation. In moments, sprouts in the hydroponic rack grow at astonishing speed. Not just one plant, the entire crop flourishes, and even the blood trick is cleansed away. While admiring his handiwork, Linmo spots Maggie eyeing the tiny sprout like it's alien tech. She blurts out why the plant is so ridiculously small. Linmo grins and says it's just a humble lettuce sprout. He jokes it's as tiny as Maggie, earning an instant protest. Maggie then demands intel on what tasty dish uses this leaf. Dorothy sweetly explains it's the green stuff inside Maggie's beloved burgers. Maggie lights up and asks when her dad will take her for burgers again. Cobbin quietly tells Linmo her father has already passed away. Linmo falls silent, thoughts swirling. Suddenly, he turns to Cobbin with a bright new scheme. They discuss crafting burgers from wheat and lettuce. Linmo promises Maggie a burger feast once the lettuce grows up. He boasts that in ancient Greece he'd be the god of agriculture. Dorothy thinks he's joking, but Linmo introduces himself like a proud deity. She admits that if he can really grow food fast, at least they won't starve. When Cobbin tries to spill Linmo's true ability, Linmo drags him aside. He sternly warns that his superpower must stay top secret. Linmo recalls Ju Shunya mentioning a classified security bureau project. The project plants undercover agents among civilians like living surveillance cams. If they learn about his powers, trouble will follow guaranteed. After everyone leaves, Linmo carefully checks that is alone. Confirming safety, he tests the new power he just absorbed. Closing his eyes, he senses energy flowing from the parasitic white cells inside him. The power is now strong enough to trigger the red limit state at will. Unbeknownst to him, a hidden device secretly records his gardening session. The device keeps signaling and suddenly reboots its transmission system. On the other end, National Security Bureau staff immediately check the restored link. They quickly sync satellites to gather Earth's current data. But the planet's surface is nearly frozen solid, limiting visibility. With no better option, they deploy multiple drones to scout the ground. The brutal cold lets the drones function only briefly. Even so, the commander orders them to find any useful clue. The drones descend, hoping to spot survivors. Passing an apartment complex, an operator detects a bizarre anomaly. Zooming in, they're horrified to see a giant parasitic creature clinging to the building. One drone flies too close and gets crushed by a suppressive force. The others keep recording data on the forming aberrant creature. From the mother whiteskin's belly, a monster far larger than normal crawls out. Its body is smeared with the flesh and blood of absorbed victims. Its arrival triggers faint tremors across the area. Inside, Linmo feels the vibration and instantly goes alert. He rushes to the window where Ju Shunya is staring outside. She coolly states the creature has completed its reproduction. Seeing its grotesque form, even Linmo is stunned. Ju Shunya confirms it's the mother specimen that birthed the whiteskins. The monster's eyes lock onto the building as if sensing Linmo. Linmo realizes it seems to crave something inside. The monster raises a massive arm ready to tear apart the complex for food. Linmo shouts for everyone to get down. One swing shatters a huge section of the building. Linmo shuts his eyes, bracing for falling concrete. But when he opens them, the debris is floating midair. The bizarre phenomenon makes the situation even more unpredictable. Ju Shunya calmly confirms Linmo unconsciously caused it. Though they narrowly survive, the broken wall leaves them exposed. Before Linmo can grasp the strange force, a new danger strikes. In a split-second lapse, the giant whiteskin locks onto him. It manipulates the flying concrete to attack the room. Luckily, everyone dodges in time and escapes injury. The floor collapses, dragging Linmo and Ju Shunya straight down. Cobbin panics when both vanish, certain something went terribly wrong. Amid the chaos, a calm voice rises from below, freezing everyone in place. Turns out Ju Shunya is hanging from a steel beam, coolly asking to be pulled up first. Before Cobbin can ask about Linmo or the experiment, the whiteskin locates them. Seeing the monster up close, Dorothy screams for everyone to run to her. Just as doom strikes, a pink lightning bolt tears through the sky and slashes the whiteskin. The surprise blow knocks it off balance and slams it into a building. From the dust emerges a figure etched with glowing pink veins, radiating a chilling aura. Observers afar suspect this is the same monster the rescue team once mentioned. Cameras capture Rox suddenly floating mid-battle like gravity took a coffee break. Then all signals cut off, the last drone goes dark, and the control room panics. The man called Lautai stays calm, saying the signal will return eventually. Someone suggests using a survivor detector, but Lautai rejects it as too risky outside. On the battlefield, the whiteskin hurls Rox wildly, triggering a massive smoky explosion. From the smoke steps none other than Linmo, now in a brand new whiteskin form. Feeling power surge, Linmo realizes has reached the subred limit state, like embers reigniting. As rocks rain down, he stops dodging and prepares for a head-on clash. The subred limit amplifies all his abilities, instantly flipping the fight. Without hesitation, Linmo charges straight into the storm of debris. Even while advancing, he shields those behind him from collateral damage. His terrifying speed makes even the whitest-skin hesitate. It didn't expect this level. The more he fights, the more he grasps his powers. Truth, a dying flame still never dies. Overwhelmed, the whiteskin shifts tactics, gathering all debris into a colossal mass. With a flick, it sends the massive rock hurtling at Linmo like a meteor. Linmo doesn't flinch, accelerating as if to smash destiny itself. The subred limit erupts in brilliant pink light, focusing into his forward punch. In whiteskin form, Linmo alone confronts the incoming stone giant. His punch detonates, obliterating the mass in a quake-shaking blast. Shards fly at lethal speeds. One alone could level a building. The area is devastated, and the whiteskin is swallowed by radiant pink light. Inside, everyone is stunned. Dorothy whispers what that red light even was. Even battle-hardened Lao Xiao mutters it looks like an angel descending. To them, the being that crushed the giant monster seems like a divine savior. But its savage face makes them hesitate. It looks more demon than angel. The drastic whiteskin form hides that their savior is actually Lin Mo. After the fight, Lin Mo privately admits he may have overdone the theatrics. As he reflects, a familiar silhouette suddenly appears in his mind. The master manifests in his consciousness, saying only Lin Mo can control such dangerous power. Lin Mo stares coldly and says, "So you finally decided to show yourself." The figure chuckles, noting Lin Mo must have plenty of questions to ask. Lin Mo nods, admitting he has way too many questions after all that insanity. The master laughs, saying that crazy girl tossing the core stabilized his spirit. He grins and tells Lin Mo to ask away. Finally, there's time to explain. No fluff. Lin Mo demands to know what the whiteskins really are. The master gestures for calm, warning that too many questions will fry his brain. He explains they're actually soulless corpses, dead bodies driven by resentment. He points at Lin Mo, implying he's not so different. The master reminds him of the time law. When Lin Mo dies, he jumps timelines with his consciousness. The old body becomes an empty shell, possibly out there committing murder. Lin Mo finally understands why Zhu Shunya and Kabin's memories never matched. He laughs bitterly. He wasn't reborn, just hopping across endless timelines. By that logic, each flame inside him is another transmigrated ability user, and the master confirms it. Elsewhere, a group opens the secret package the monster delivered. Inside, they're horrified to find a human head. Coincidentally, the whiteskin on the battlefield has nearly regenerated except for its missing head. Failing to find it, the creature goes berserk, screaming wildly. As it rampages, Lin Mo intercepts to stop further destruction. He frowns, wondering if the thing is actually immortal. The master sounds thrilled, teasing that this creature is special. Why not ask it? Annoyed, Lin Mo asks why everything revolves around him, and the master mocks him for reading too little. Lin Mo fumes. This is hardly joke o'clock. Before they finish bickering, the whiteskin fully regenerates and charges again. Lin Mo dodges easily, noting it's still slower than him. Then the monster unleashes a new move, creating massive gravitational force. Even Lin Mo is dragged in, shocked by such bizarre power. Trapped, he realizes it's absorbing Nether River heat energy from his body. His energy drains rapidly, leaving him weakening fast. Even the subred limit state begins to flicker out. Only then does Lin Mo grasp what the master meant by sharing the same origin. Even now, the master snarks that if Lin Mo gets drained dry, he's in trouble too. Suddenly, Lin Mo's body undergoes a bizarre transformation he can't comprehend. His arms, then his entire whiteskin form, begin splitting apart as if something is forming. Soon, a complete body separates and stands independently. The master, now in that new body, smirks that Lin Mo looks so pathetic he had to step in. He laughs, saying Lin Mo was naber v to think he could only survive inside him. Thanks to a second core, the master can now forge his own complete body. As the whiteskin attacks again, the master steps forward to join the fight. He warns this battle will shatter energy balance, so it must end quickly. The whiteskin intensifies gravity beneath their feet. Calmly, the master says if they can't escape the pull, they'll just burn everything instead. He places a hand on Lin Mo and directly siphons his strongest heat source to counterattack. Lin Mo's energy drains at terrifying speed, leaving him panicked and confused. Meanwhile, the whiteskin's gravity field activates again, pulling everything inward. Even the master is slowly dragged toward the monster as the pull strengthens. Yet the master converts the stolen energy into a dangerously lethal counterweapon. By the time the whiteskin realizes the plan, it's already far too late. The counterattack explodes, twisting its body and forcing it back to a pre-revival state. A bizarre number 13 appears on its shoulder like a serial tag. Elsewhere, shadowy watchers confirm that target 13 has surfaced. They discuss 13 as if it's a manufactured product, not a natural creature. Instead of retrieving it, the mastermind grows intrigued by an even more interesting subject. The master laughs proudly, saying this is Li Sha's true power. Earlier fistfights were just stingy. Lin Mo realizes his abilities still have plenty of undiscovered features. Though suppressed, 13 clearly isn't done and prepares her own weapon. A distant observer admits pushing the Holy Mother's 13 this far was unexpected. He confesses he only meant to use 13 to locate the National Security Bureau's shelter. Now he opts to keep watching, since intervening would expose the entire plan. Among them is Irina of the Prophet Society, who believes they're children chosen by gods. Their serious talk is interrupted when little Xiao Yilin runs in, startling Irina. Pastor Cross turns to Han Jinyu, who just arrived after dealing with spies. She suggests they observe the battlefield from afar to assess the fight. On the field, 13 begins forging a new weapon to counterattack. It emits waves of intense gravitational force, shaking the battlefield. The master urges Linmo to prepare while he's still decoding the gravity mechanics. Linmo recalls the master's earlier gravity strike and suspects 13 copied the principle. Sensing danger, he shouts a warning that something's wrong with the move. But by the time 13 realizes it's too late to cancel, she's dragged deep into her own gravitational field. The reversal forces 13 to instantly switch tactics. She generates massive repulsive force, blasting the master out of the gravity zone. Only after being flung away does the master grasp how deadly that force is. 13 seizes the moment, launching a killing strike before he stabilizes. Just as the blow is about to land, the unexpected happens. Linmo suddenly appears, blocking the attack and pulling the master clear. He mocks that her speed still lags behind the universe's true speed demons. The master seriously notes 13 isn't an ordinary soulless corpse. From afar, Ju Shunya senses Linmo has figured something out. Forcing himself calm, Linmo replays every detail of 13's actions. After careful analysis, he finally pinpoints the core of her ability. When the master suggests burning her, Linmo proposes going bigger, much bigger. The master studies him and realizes he wants to escalate the flames further. Understanding the plan, he laughs. Finally, perfect synergy. The master tells Linmo to extend his hand to prepare the decisive weapon. Before Linmo can question it, the master's next move leaves him speechless. He grabs Linmo's hand and presses it against his own chest. A crack opens in the master's chest, the vent for releasing and absorbing heat. Linmo reaches inside and pulls out the forming object just as 13 charges. Oblivious to danger, 13 keeps attacking straight at them. From the master's body, Linmo draws a blazing red blade forged from immense heat. The weapon's destructive force terrifies even 13. One slash tears open the ground and shatters her body. Knocked back, 13 loses balance and crashes down. Before the crimson blade glowing like Linmo's sub-red limit state, Linmo advances with overwhelming presence, forcing his foe fully on the defensive. Sensing the opening, the master circles behind 13 for a sneak attack. He calculates her left arm can only generate repulsive force. Sure enough, 13 reacts exactly as predicted, defending with repulsion. That locks her into the behavioral pattern the master foresaw. His moment arrives, Linmo prepares the finishing strike. He realizes 13 can only attack head-on with gravity. When defending, she can merely tweak repulsion trajectories. Linmo deliberately lets himself be blasted away. It's all part of the script. He notes 13's body functions like a giant magnet. Her magnetic field lines form the perfect acceleration path for his strike. Riding those lines, Linmo accelerates insanely and syncs with the master. At point-blank range, he unleashes all accumulated firepower. A colossal blaze erupts, sweeping the area like a fiery tsunami. As the sea of flames fades, 13 begins to collapse. Her body has been completely pierced through by Linmo. The master instantly seizes the final chance. He lunges to finish 13 while she's dazed. But afar, the observers activate Phase 2 teleport extraction. Irina, the Prophet Society, is teleported straight onto the battlefield. Upon arrival, she immediately faces the master mid-war zone. The master smiles, sensing something eerily like staring into a mirror. Without a word, Irina draws her sword. In one move, she shatters the master's weapon and dashes toward Linmo. Linmo is stunned. This girl is a powerhouse ability user too. A single slash from Irina obliterates what remains of 13. Holding 13's regeneration core, Irina calmly reports mission complete. From a nearby building, her teammate calls to lock on for teleport activation. Linmo seriously warns her to brace, or she might teleport with the floor included. Watching her odd stance before departure, Linmo has no clue what she's up to. Has annoyed humans risk teleportation just to snatch a soulless corpse. Moments later, Han Jinyu teleports in to catch the returning Irina. Dragged back too fast, Irina barely manages to confirm she secured 13's core. Han Jinyu teases her but reassures that little 13 will be fine. Pastor Cross laughs, explaining his teleport has limits, hence the rough landing. Irritated, Irina hurls 13's core straight at his face. Even so, Pastor Cross grins. The 13 target has been rescued. The core is now just an embryo, needing cultivation to rebuild a body. Han Jinyu silently calculates the Prophet Society's plan must proceed cautiously. From afar, Linmo and the Master can only watch them retreat, missing their capture chance. After the brutal clash, the city is buried under thick white dust. Inside the building, everyone coughs, wondering if the monster is truly gone. Ju Shunya reassures them it's safe for now, prompting Maggie to ask about the guy in black. Lakxiao peers downward, worried since Linmo is nowhere in sight. He fears Linmo may have fallen during the fight. Right then, Linmo appears disheveled, joking they should install an elevator. Lakxiao eyes him suspiciously, asking if the fall scrambled his brain. Ju Shunya immediately grabs him for inspection, leaving Linmo awkwardly smiling. He whispers his fine but plays along with the act. Ju Shunya teases that if he's acting, he'd better commit to the role. Lakxiao exhales in relief, at least they all survived. But he soon frets that the heating system on this floor was wrecked. Seeing his gloom, Linmo steps in, saying it's not that bad. He notes the blood nest below has vanished, so they can check lower floors. Even if they're the last survivors here, Linmo insists it's not time to despair. He says the lower floors might still have supplies and shelter in abandoned apartments. Linmo pats Lakxiao's shoulder again to boost morale. He eagerly moves to tell everyone to prepare for relocation. But Lakxiao suddenly gets a shocking phone call. Outside, a National Security Bureau vehicle is already approaching. Inside are Captain Huaiti and two soldiers gearing up. Through comms, they identify themselves as field agents of the National Security Bureau. By superior order, they request support to apprehendability user 0 Linmo. Ju Shunya immediately grows wary since outside is still deadly. Linmo agrees this is the perfect time to move downstairs and avoid trouble. He asks La Qiao whether the security room has defensive weapons. Kabin suddenly pipes up excitedly, claiming she has a solution. She grabs her guitar and says when she plays, monsters freeze as if locked. Dorothy and Lao Qiao instantly reject the idea as absurd in this crisis. Ignoring debate, Linmo decides to go downstairs with Kabin to scout first. He sternly warns her not to touch anything, danger may linger below. As they move, something seems to secretly record their actions. Seeing the familiar room, Kabin sighs that she never noticed how tough Linmo's life was. Linmo shrugs, small towns don't offer luxury. He realizes that in this chaotic era, normal life has become a luxury. The freeze, soulless corpses, and disasters came too suddenly, making past peace distant. After endless upheaval, everyone is exhausted without rest. Even burdened by grief and despair, they must survive. In such times, battered bodies and minds still can't afford to stop. Linmo suddenly calls Kabin back in a serious tone. He says there are strange truths she needs to hear. Kabin grows uneasy at his grave expression. Linmo insists that, believe it or not, what he says is true. Kabin half jokes that maybe he hit his head fighting monsters. Linmo directly addresses her doubts about his sudden powers. He reveals he died in another timeline and now occupies this body. The original Linmo's owner isn't here anymore. Kabin is stunned by the unbelievable confession. Linmo calmly says she deserves to know as the real one's best friend. After a thoughtful drag of her cigarette, Kabin snarks that her old friend is already dead. She bluntly asks if it's just a replacement. Linmo is surprised she accepts it so calmly. Kabin suddenly extends her hand, smiling, then let's reintroduce ourselves. Linmo laughs at her ease with such a bombshell. She teases that no matter what, has still a familiar Linmo. She jokes that body snatching sounds like bad sci-fi. They shake hands, officially meeting anew. Kabin crushes her cigarette when Linmo reminds her no smoking indoors. Meanwhile, a National Security Bureau car quietly approaches outside. Inside, young Officer R looks uneasy about this odd mission. He wonders why a small rescue squad must capture a dangerous ability user. Captain White pauses, then prepares to explain everything. He reveals past large-scale communication blackouts were actually human-made. Their current target is directly tied to those responsible. After the freeze disaster, the Bureau activated crisis protocol, plunging things into chaos. Investigations show the communication disruptions were sabotaged by humans, not monsters. Intelligence suspects recent disasters are orchestrated by a secret organization with zero records. Sergeant Rutter scoffs no group could exist beyond the National Security Bureau's radar. Her colleague coldly adds that humans always leave traces. With their intel experience, a totally invisible organization sounds like ghost stories. Agent Hui calmly replies that ability users might be exactly those ghosts. He admits he once thought it absurd until his team met them. He presents a classified piece of evidence, instantly wiping the smirks off their faces. Sparse intel labels this ability user organization highly secretive and hostile. Corporal guesses they may be hunting other ability users for their own agenda. Agent Hui admits his clearance isn't high enough for the full truth. He only knows Target Zero is the sole monitored ability user and the key to understanding this power. Mid-conversation, the vehicle suddenly slams its brakes. Everyone goes alert, demanding to know what happened. Corporal Lee reports a group of survivors blocking the road in the freezing weather. Captain YT decides to step out personally. He approaches calmly, asking how he can help. The strangers beg desperately, saying Brooklyn has become hell. YT explains they're on urgent duty and can't take everyone. The group's eyes instantly shift with suspicion. He offers to leave some relief supplies as compromise. But Agent O notices a few secretly gripping knives. As expected, the group suddenly attacks. Two restrain YT while another moves to stab him. At the most critical second, two gunshots shatter the tension. Agent Oi drops the attacker with flawless precision. On a nearby balcony, another assailant prepares a Molotov cocktail. Oi instantly spots the threat above. As the fuse ignites, he shifts aim in one smooth motion. His gun locks onto the bottle midair. A single shot splits the night. The Molotov explodes, burning its wielder before he falls from the balcony. Amid chaos, White quickly subdues the remaining attackers. Agent O coldly finishes them with precise shots. One tries a sneak attack, but Oi's sharp gaze catches it. He draws and fires with pure instinct. The bullet pierces the heart, instant collapse. Afterward, a shaken member asks if killing survivors was necessary. Huai decides in the apocalypse, mercy can be fatal. He only hopes ability user Zero won't become that kind of man. Meanwhile, Linmo and his group fortify the building into a survival base. Even as defenses shape up, Linmo frowns, something crucial feels missing. La Qiao boasts he once fought monsters solo. Xian instantly mocks him, turning it into a pride duel. Provoked, La Qiao challenges Xian to spar outside to prove has no bluffer. Xian accepts without hesitation, backing down would scream weakness. Just as tempers flare, Jushunya urgently calls Linmo over comms. When he asks why, she cuts him off. Come in person if you want answers. Upon meeting, she bluntly asks if he encountered another of his kind, because that's serious. Linmo confirms and reveals the girl sees the Whiteskin's core, raising the stakes. Jushunya immediately plays a mysterious broadcast, telling him to listen and understand. In it, a hypnotic voice declares the apocalyptic freeze is God's punishment, kicking off dangerously seductive propaganda. Linmo finds it nonsense, but Joe insists he listen on, hinting the real trouble is still coming. The broadcast grows fanatical, claiming God uses ice to cleanse the world and sort saints from sinners. They then bash the government, ranting about humanity being monitored and corrupted, pure hate-fooling propaganda. They declare the blessed ones as holy sons and reborn prophets, spinning a dangerously seductive belief system. Lin Mo quickly realizes those holy sons are just Kilatu and his old troublemaking crew in holy cosplay. Salvation is a sham, since they'd gladly wipe out Bai Pi and civilians alike to win. Calling themselves the Prophet Society, they invite survivors to join and be guided by their holy sons through doomsday. The broadcast ends with promises of protection and redemption, classic cult recruitment pitch. Dr. Joe switches it off and stares at Lin Mo, demanding his take on the cult-flavored nonsense. Lin Mo shrugs it off as anti-government heresy, yet his gut says something's fishy. He notes their blessing sounds suspiciously like Esper abilities, making the cult far scarier than advertised. Joe coldly agrees that's entirely possible, which only makes things worse. She brings up legends of a secret society manipulating the government once dismissed as conspiracy, but not baseless. According to Joe, a group called the Prophet Society once nearly controlled the entire nation. The government first used them for dirty overseas work, but the rabid dog eventually bit its master. After infiltrating deep into power, the Ministry of Defense formed the National Duty Bureau to eliminate them. The group was supposedly wiped out, so its reappearance in the apocalypse deeply unsettles Joe. Lin Mo immediately grows suspicious state secrets like this shouldn't be in Joe's trivia collection. Joe dryly reveals she once dated a former intelligence agent, hence her insider knowledge. But at the mention of Rotter, she flinches. Clearly her past isn't squeaky clean either. Regaining focus, she insists the Prophet Society was utterly destroyed, meaning no survivor should exist. Joe then boldly theorizes their espers might originate from another universe. She even points at Lin Mo, implying his ghost identity is also an otherworldly anomaly. Lin Mo is stunned his secret is exposed, baffled at how she found out. He glances at his necklace, suspecting the little traitor spilled the beans. Seeing his reaction, Joe teases about the bond between the two men, though her gaze stays razor-sharp. She concludes that if her theory holds, the Prophet Society now has every reason to target Lin Mo. Then she orders him to move her luggage like hired help, and Lin Mo realizes he was summoned for chores. Elsewhere, Lieutenant Hoi Duk's team also begins investigating the mysterious Prophet Society. Sergeant Joe's stab, hence it's tied directly to the founding of the National Service Bureau. Hoi Duk cuts him off, reminding Joe why she was transferred from intelligence. Clearly this secret is radioactive. Agent OI confirms the Prophet Society involves espers, making Zero's capture top priority. To speed things up, higher-ups grant the commander full authority, no permission slips required. OI stresses anyone opposing the mission will be treated as a direct threat to humanity's salvation plan. With supreme authority, they can eliminate any risk and mobilize all other hunters at will. Meanwhile, in room 303, Lin Mo's group happily devours hot burgers, briefly ignoring the icy apocalypse outside. Little Maggie eats with pure joy because in this frozen era, a burger is gourmet treasure. Dorothy marvels at Lin Mo's rapid plant growth ability, grateful for the fresh food he provides. Lin Mo modestly credits farming Noho, though everyone knows has the reason they're not skeletons. Mid-feast, Lao Qiao raids the fridge and triumphantly pulls out a hidden bottle of liquor. Dorothy admits she saved it for him, knowing he's always nostalgic about his hometown bar. Lao Qiao preps salt and lime for Lin Mo, clearly ready to give a hometown drinking masterclass. He proudly declares it authentic tequila and offers the first shot to Lin Mo, their resident savior. Following instructions, Lin Mo licks the salt first, still awkward with the ritual. He downs the fiery tequila, his throat burning in true Mexican style. A bite of lime seals the deal, completing the textbook tequila performance. La Qiao eagerly invites Dr. Joe, but she icily declines no smoking, no booze, period. Dorothy suddenly notices Cian missing, odd for someone who never skips a meal. She recalls Cian is on guard duty today with extra tasks to handle. Dorothy offers to deliver a burger, but Lin Mo volunteers, playing gentleman. Unbeknownst to them, security forces outside are tracking their every move. The Security Bureau team is in position, and Agent OI orders a comms check before launch. Members report in one-by-one systems green across the board. Only Sergeant Zhou spots a minor glitch in a surveillance channel that needs fixing. Lieutenant Huai Di allows her to patch it quickly to avoid delaying the plan. Seizing the moment, Joss switches to a private channel with Huai Di. Huai Di bluntly asks what feels off an intel agent's gut is rarely wrong. Zhou says Zero doesn't seem dangerous but is clearly hiding something massive. Huai Di admits this may involve top-level secrets and doesn't want her taking reckless risks. Knowing she won't back down, he just urges extreme caution moving forward. After the covert talk, Huai Di's team begins executing their own action plan. The operation order is issued, the mission officially begins. Back in room 303, chatter flows until Lao Qiao mentions he once had a daughter. He confesses it's been over 20 years since he's seen her, casting a heavy silence. Drinking more, Lao Qiao worries if she's even alive in this frozen hellscape. Drunk and sobbing, he grabs Dr. Joe's hand, apologizing to his daughter for failing her. He cries out Juana in despair, revealing a wound that never healed. At the name Juana, Dr. Joe freezes briefly, sensing a suspicious coincidence. The warm family moment shatters as the room's power suddenly cuts out. Dr. Joe instantly senses danger, her instincts scream trouble. La Qiao snaps sober, coldly saying what was bound to come has arrived. He grabs gun and knife and rushes out, leaving Lin Mo and Dr. Joe stunned. Outside, Agent O's squad infiltrates the building but hits a blockage, forcing a detour. Someone doubts their intel, but YD coolly replies that testing it is the only way to know. They discover a maintenance pipe leading inside and decide it's their sneaky entry. Crawling through the cramped pipe, they reach the third floor, where Lin Mo's group stays. They link live visuals to headquarters to keep every move monitored. YD orders civilians secured first, then the main target minimize chaos. He reminds the three-member team to back each other up no matter what. With that, they split up and begin sweeping the entire floor. Inside, Linmo asks Dr. Joe what's happening, but she's completely in the dark. Both turn toward the door as hurried footsteps burst into the room. Bin rushes in, reporting armed men in the building. Tension skyrockets instantly. According to her, the intruders look anything but friendly neighborhood heroes. Worse, they've split into squads to calm every inch of the building. Right then, the agents spot a shadowy figure popping up in the dark corridor. Combat instincts fire instantly as Huid and Corporal Lee aim at the stranger. The armored, masked figure makes it impossible to tell guard from civilian. Huidi steps forward, introducing them as a national security rescue team to ease tensions. The masked man replies, slowly revealing himself as Lao Qiao. Instead of relief, Lao Qiao sneers, asking since when security cares about civilians. At headquarters, Joss studies the mask and feels a strong déjà vu. She quickly digs through internal files and uncovers his real identity. Joss urgently warns Huidi that the man before him is no ordinary civilian. Records show he is a notorious assassin who wiped out multiple drug lords in San Diego. After capture, he was used by national security as a special asset due to his terrifying combat skills. Hearing that, Huidi foolishly lowers his guard, thinking Lao Qiao was once on their side. The remark enrages Lao Qiao, who roars, demanding who the hell is their man. In a flash, Lao Qiao slashes at Huidi, screaming that they killed his daughter. The strike is so fast Huidi loses 2 fingers before reacting. Lao Qiao keeps charging like a rabid beast, bent on revenge. Huidi can only grab the blade bare-handed, blood pouring everywhere. Pressing the knife down, Lao Qiao growls that they dare call him one of theirs. Seeing his commander in danger, Corporal Lee raises his gun to fire. He shouts for Huidi to duck out of the line of fire. The moment Huidi lowers himself, a bullet flies straight at Lao Qiao's head. Shockingly, the shot does almost nothing. The special mask keeps him standing. Lao Qiao kicks Huidi away, reclaiming the upper hand. He pulls out hidden throwing darts, ready to finish the remaining enemy. A dart hits its mark, blood spraying proof the old assassin hasn't rusted. Amid the chaos, Linmo appears, exchanges words with Agent Oi, then vanishes like a ghost. From the shadows, Linmo mocks Oi for glowing like a noisy firefly, clearly baiting him. Oi cuts the nonsense, declaring himself a national security agent in a steel-hard tone. He bluntly states today's mission is to arrest Linmo, the preselected target. But as the gun aims, Linmo disappears as if he was never there. A second later, he materializes behind Oi, teasing why they chase him instead of the blizzard. Moving lightning fast around his foe, Linmo pressures him to reveal his true agenda. He suspects national security is hiding something bigger than mere law and order. Cornered, Oi warns he'll truly open fire if Linmo continues. Linmo scoffs, saying Oi should first be sure he can actually hit him. Don't talking, Oi chambers around and prepares to shoot. He unleashes a barrage trying to block every escape route. Yet Linmo slips through the bullets like a phantom. Seizing a brief opening, Linmo closes in to counterattack. The blow only knocks off Oi's communicator instead of dropping him. Linmo instantly senses something's wrong, that hit should have ended it. Oi remains steady, disturbingly calm after the strike. He claims his intuition predicted Linmo's attack trajectory from the start. According to Oi, the moment Linmo tensed to move, he already knew what was coming. Alarmed, Linmo demands to know who he really is. Oi replies calmly that he already told him. Linmo just didn't believe it. He reiterates his identity as a national security agent. More importantly, has an Esper too, just like Linmo. Meanwhile at HQ, the field team's signal suddenly drops, sending Zos into frantic calls. The comms spit pure static, crippling coordination. In another corridor, Corporal Lee drags the wounded Huidi while shouting for help over the radio. Right then, another dart shoots out from the darkness. Both are hit and crash to the floor but stubbornly try to fight back. They aim toward the attack's origin, hands trembling from pain. The attacker vanishes before they can get a clear look. A second later, another shadow appears behind them. A brutal impact suddenly kicks Linmo straight through a wall. He slams into Lao Qiao, and the two tumble in chaotic fashion. Regaining focus, Linmo realizes he's sprawled over a booze-reeking Lao Qiao. Helping him up, Linmo spots 2 national security agents ahead. Before he can speak, a massive figure approaches, each step shaking the corridor. Linmo instantly knows this new monster must be dealt with first or they're all dead. At that moment, Agent Oi lashes out with a special chain to restrain the creature. He orders it to switch targets and attack Linmo. Now Linmo faces Esper Oi, a controlled hollow shell, and enemies all around. After setting Lao Qiao safely aside, Linmo erupts with battle aura like a war god unleashed. Even calm-faced Oi feels pressure, witnessing Zero's power firsthand. From that reaction, Linmo realizes Oi definitely knows something about his identity. Don't talking, Oi commands the hollow shell to subdue Linmo. Linmo stays utterly calm, sensing every movement around him. He notes Lao Qiao behind him fighting here would drag the old man in. Even so, Linmo strikes first to break the encirclement. The sudden move stalls the hollow shell briefly as its controller reassesses. Oi quickly sees Linmo using sound pressure waves to counter. Seizing the distraction, Linmo charges at maximum speed. His punch shakes the very structure of the building. Yet it's blocked by an invisible energy shield guarding Oi. The collision sends both crashing down to the floor below in rubble. Upon landing, Linmo realizes this fight is tougher than expected. His opponent's defense is nearly impenetrable. Even direct hits are nullified by layered energy barriers. Observing closely, Linmo spots the weak link, the chain controlling the hollow shell. Instead of hitting the beast, he targets its master, Agent Oi. Lowering his stance, Linmo locks his gaze on Oi. He fires back at Oi's taunt, "Want know who's stronger till they try." Then he blasts forward, speed nearly tearing the air apart. But Oa's intuition predicts the strike again, dodging effortlessly. Realizing brute force won't work, Linmo shifts tactics. He uses speed to generate countless feint attack paths. If Oi reads one trajectory, Linmo will create dozens at once. Overlapping motions shred the space around them with phantom strikes. Linmo bets that even intuition has limits if Hes fast enough. Sure enough, in a split-second lapse, Linmo destroys the chain controlling the hollow shell. With the chain broken, the hollow shell breaks free instantly. Its arm sprouts sharp steel spikes, ready to impale the nearest target. It leaps with terrifying speed, rivaling Linmo's. Oi coldly reminds him speed isn't his exclusive perk. The massive hollow shell, both swift and powerful, closes in. Its charge nearly crushes Linmo under overwhelming weight. Pinned to the floor, Linmo realizes one tiny mistake means death. Oi immediately aims his gun at Linmo's head to finish it. He warns coldly that further resistance will leave Linmo's corpse dragged through the blizzard. Linmo stays cool, taunting that Oi's bosses might not even allow his execution. While calling Oi the Bureau's lapdog, he secretly activates scattered weapon fragments. Watching metal pieces magnetically assemble, Oi senses something very wrong. The instant the weapon nears completion, Linmo blitzes forward to seize momentum. Oi unleashes relentless gunfire, determined to stop him from reaching it. But at that moment, Linmo moves so fast the bullets seem sluggish. His hand finally grasps the weapon, and two energies resonate instantly. Power erupts like a chain reaction, shaking the very space around them. As dust clears, Oi stares in disbelief. Violent energy ripples around Linmo like a savage halo. He has fully evolved into a stronger Baipai form. The fused Black Calamity weapon completes, radiating lethal light. Linmo calmly sets it down, aura like a warrior awakened. He coldly declares round 2 has officially begun. Studying the evolution, Oi realizes the longer this drags, the harder Zero will be to capture. He opts for a quick finish and orders the hollow shell to probe. The hollow shell charges like an emotionless war machine. High-speed attacks rain down on Linmo. Remembering Dr. Joe's lesson on energy absorption, Linmo is ready. He uses the weapon to absorb every incoming strike. The weapon glows crimson, signaling energy saturation. Linmo converts the stored power into a counterattack. For the first time, O's shock is visible. Linmo winds up like a javelin thrower before the decisive strike. The Black Calamity Spear launches with terrifying force. It pierces multiple concrete layers, detonating with a building-shaking blast. Oi finally grasps that Linmo can weaponize enemy energy, but by the time he realizes, the spear is already upon him. In a critical instant, the hollow shell leaps to shield its master. The spear collides with the energy shield, generating a violent force field clash. Two similar energy fields begin neutralizing each other. The cancellation pushes the energy to explosive overload. A catastrophic blast sends both Linmo and the hollow shell flying. Even though I didn't expect such a ferocious reaction, he mutters in disbelief at the unforeseen outcome. The hollow shell absorbs the brunt of the explosion, losing all combat capability. Oi reluctantly recalls it to recover. He then taunts Linmo, asking if he still wants to continue. Linmo admits he hasn't found a way to break O's intuition. Oi understands they're currently deadlocked. Linmo points at the weapon, saying the fight has reached a stalemate. But Oi steps forward coldly, claiming Zero misjudges the situation. He abruptly orders the next phase of the plan. A strange sound rings out, causing Linmo's Baipai body to disintegrate. Before blacking out, Linmo glimpses a blurry figure who felled him with sound. As things settle, Oi scolds the newcomer for arriving late. The man smirks, asking if he missed anything good. Oi says quite a lot. Seeing Linmo unconscious from parasite destabilization, Oi states the capture is halfway complete. He adds that timely support from Agent Gu Bin ensured success. Guo Bin, now nothing like her former gentle self, coldly says no need for thanks. Just 30 minutes ago, she'd been napping in the surveillance room like a normal staffer. Meanwhile, the agents had secretly picked the lock-up stairs to seize the control room. Only when Oi pressed a gun to her cheek did Guo Bin wake up. Opening her eyes to 3 guns aimed at her, she instantly faked panic. She hurriedly claimed she'd reformed long ago and was now just an ordinary civilian. Oi immediately recites a string of code phrases to verify her true identity. Gu Bin responds flawlessly, proving she's the embedded agent. After authentication, she stands ready to receive orders. Corporal Leaf finally realizes the country girl they knew was a secret operative all along. Yet right after the formalities, Gu Bin suddenly collapses onto the desk as if unconscious. At the same time, the building's entire power grid is cut, spiking everyone's tension. Hoida quickly contacts HQ demanding answers. Zoes replies the system is too outdated to control likely sabotage. Soon after, Gu Bin wakes up as if nothing happened. Oi promptly issues a new order: capture Linmo and secure survivors. He asks for her report, but Gu Bin abruptly cuts him off. She claims the blackout likely made the target and survivors relocate, so they must split up. She also insists firepower alone can't capture Zero. She needs her electric guitar, it's the real key to restraining him. Returning to the room, she feeds vague information to mislead the others. But little Margie accidentally spots a tiny surveillance camera. Dr. Joe picks it up and instantly recognizes the national security emblem. She realizes they've been monitored all along. At that moment, Gu Bin draws her gun at Dr. Joe and calls out her true identity. Dorothy panics, clutching her daughter as a familiar face turns hostile. Dr. Joe calmly admits she suspected Gu Bin earlier. Dropping the act, Gu Bin directly calls Joe Shuren a traitor. Joe Shuren swiftly draws her hidden gun to resist, but Gu Bin is faster and fires a warning shot. The bullet merely grazes Joe Shuren's hair, a chilling warning. Gu Bin warns the next shot won't miss. Joe Shuren turns as ordered, hair sin but gaze unwavering. She mocks that their true objective is just an experimental product named Zero. Suddenly, the radio crackles. Alpha missing, Bravo and Delta injured. Chaos escalates. Sensing something off, Cian requests a private channel, clearly hiding something. He bluntly accuses Zhou Shunya of involvement in the freezing catastrophe, labeling her a dangerous traitor. Zhou Shunya coolly counters that they are the real traitors, tightening the tension. Then she drops the name Project Europa, a bombshell that stuns Cian Hoi Di. At the word Europa, Cian's pale face betrays she hit a sensitive nerve. Zhou Shunya explains Europa, the icy moon of Jupiter, once thought to harbor life. She coldly highlights the eerie parallel Europa froze, and now New York is becoming the same. She questions why their superiors chose that name unless it ties to the Prophet Society. Pushed to the brink, Cian spins around, clearly rattled. He grabs Zhou Shunya's face and presses a gun to her forehead to silence her. She only smirks, knowing her secret is too valuable for him to pull the trigger. When Huaidi signals restraint, Ci instantly tones down. Real authority lies above. He slaps Zhou Shunya to save face, masking his unease. Cian then calls for extraction support, eager to wrap this up quickly. Zhou Shunya notices the shift and realizes they truly fear exposure. Meanwhile, Linmo is fully subdued and unconscious, the mission's prized package. The security team reports success, target secured, though Corporal Lee worries about Linmo waking. Cian assures that even if he does, Linmo's Esper abilities are temporarily disabled. The reason is Isolin, a drug specially designed to lock Esper powers. Ironically, the suppression method is based on research by Zhou Shunye, the so-called traitor. Two agents carefully carry the unconscious Linmo away like hazardous evidence. Cia's gaze stays cold, yet he quietly apologizes, knowing Linmo can't hear him. Corporal Lee asks what's next, sensing this is only the beginning. Huaidi dodges the question, instead asking why Li joined the National Logistics Bureau. He warns they may be tangled in something far more terrifying than imagined. Just then, Agent Oe rushes in, checking on everyone's injuries. He reports communications are mostly restored and a shelter awaits at a Manhattan hospital. But before leaving, Oe probes with one more question. He asks if they saw a monster resembling a hollow shell in the apartment. Startled, Corporal Lee denies it, gripping his gun tightly. Huaidi calmly confirms there were only civilians and the mission target, nothing more. Satisfied, Oe nods and prepares to depart. The team withdraws, heading to the nearest rescue point to regroup. Elsewhere, Kanyu monitors events and reveals someone secretly slipped into the battlefield. She chooses not to act among those rats as a wolf, better let them tear each other apart. The voice on the other end replies they'll handle their part in the name of the Holy One. The national security vehicle drives off, carrying prisoners and unspoken secrets. Inside, tension hangs heavy as Little Mai worries about the sealed-off Lin Mo. She innocently asks why Big Brother is tied up like a criminal. Meanwhile, Lakia wakes groggily, realizing he and Zhou Shunya are tightly bound. Maggie protests, insisting they aren't bad people to be treated like criminals. She points at someone else in the van, sensing something very wrong. Maggie asks why that person looks exactly like Guitar Brother, a child's question hitting a nerve. Dorothy hurriedly claims it's just Gibai, but Maggie refuses to believe it. Hearing this, Zhou Shunya laughs as if a hidden truth was exposed. She mocks that sometimes only children see this country clearly. The jab makes Cobbin coldly ask if she's being ridiculed. Up front, Rotor silently observes Huaidi's suspicion in her eyes. Seeing the commander light another cigarette, Corporal reassures him not to worry. Rotor checks on Li's injury, maintaining composure. Li shrugs it off, saying a soldier who can't hold a gun is useless. He bitterly compares it to the country seemingly beyond saving. Rotor says nothing and heads to the back to register survivors. There she meets Zhou Shunya. Clearly they share a past. Their gazes turn icy. History between them isn't pretty. Zhou Shunya greets her mockingly, calling her old name Joanna and teasing her weight gain. Irritated, Rotor tosses the clipboard to Cobbin and steps forward. Zhou Shunya twists the knife, mocking Rotor's demotion from intelligence to rescue squad. Rotor nearly draws her gun, but Zhou Shunya calmly fans the flames. Rotor accuses her of causing today's chaos, blaming a former friend. Zhou Shunya coldly replies that Rotor got what she wanted. They both knew the risks from the start. Just as tensions peaked, Agent Wei stepped into the carriage and sized up the chaos in one sweep. He cut the arguing short. There was movement outside, and the vehicle was being tailed. Cameras showed a motorcycle glued to their rear, ridden by ability user Ken Yu. Luodi took one look and knew she was no ordinary biker, instantly on guard. Cruising calmly in this brutal cold, that alone screamed superhuman. Chushuna coolly explained that ability users weren't bothered much by harsh environments. They absorb ambient energy to sustain themselves, making Luodi immediately think of Lin Mo. Chushuna confirmed that ability users had already adapted to the icebound era. Keeping a safe distance, Ken Yu pulled a special gun from her coat. She casually aimed at the security bureau's car and fired, like it was target practice. The shot missed, but its terrifying power made the danger crystal clear. The bureau's car swerved violently yet pushed forward, desperate to escape. Behind them, Ken Yu murmured about trying again, clearly enjoying the hunt. Corporal Lee panicked, clueless about the sudden attack. Huaidi ordered full speed ahead as the pursuer closed in. Guns cocked, the bureau decided to shoot back and shake her off. Agent Wei stood at the door, firing repeatedly to force the motorcycle to keep its distance. But Kanyu's weapon wasn't ordinary one-shot packed apocalyptic punch. The blast hurled the bureau's car aside, officially kicking off the kill chase. After the explosion, the car flipped amid smoke, and the bridge road was wrecked. Ahead of the bridge, Kanyu swiftly picked a prime vantage point to admire her handiwork. She braked sharply, stopping with the poise of a hunter savoring prey. From her high perch, the wrecked vehicle lay fully within her view. Seeing the devastation, Kan Yu frowned, muttering she might have overdone it. But then the car suddenly flipped back upright, proof the passengers were still alive. Glancing at her gun, she noticed multiple cracks forming. One more shot, and the special weapon would shatter for sure. Even her helmet had cracked from recoil, just as Yelena called to check on the mission. Removing the helmet, Kan Yu calmly said she'd inspect the cargo before reporting. She lazily added her usual line, everything's bad, though it was clearly an excuse. Inside the overturned car, chaos reigned and Linmo lay unconscious among the wreckage. Luo Di anxiously asked Chushuna if she could keep supporting them. They were exhausted. Agent Wei only cared about Linmo, immediately asking about Subject Zero's condition. Chushuna confirmed he was fine, while Luo Di fumed at their one-track focus. Chushuna began checking the others, ensuring the civilians were alive. Thankfully, Duluoxi and Little Maji survived the terrifying rollover. Agent Wei shot Luo Di a cold look, clearly about to drop hard truths. He bluntly stated his mission was solely to deliver Subject Zero to the fortress. No one else mattered. Luo Di was stunned as he separated her group from the main objective. Sensing danger, she rushed to the driver's cabin to assess the situation. One glance at the scene made her scream for everyone to get back. Corporal Lee was trapped in debris but still conscious, insisting he was fine. Huaidi was far worse. A steel bar pierced him, and he was bleeding heavily. Despite his injuries, Huaidi calmly pointed outside, having spotted something horrifying. The headlights illuminated what was lurking beyond. Surrounding the car were countless hollow shell creatures, packed together like a zombie swarm. Even Agent Wei tensed up. It was his first time seeing so many hollow shells at once. He forced himself calm, thinking a packed swarm might call for a different trick. He asked Cian if the loudspeaker still worked to lure them away with sound. Learning it was busted, Wei went old-school guns blazing. He asked Luo Di for spare weapons, only to get a frosty find it yourself. Meanwhile, Luo Di stepped up and suddenly cut Chushuna's restraints. Chushuna blinked. Her former accuser was now her unexpected liberator. Luo Di tossed her a med kit, clearly not out of forgiveness. She bluntly said she only needed Chushuna's skills to save the badly injured Huaidi. Chushuna agreed but admitted she'd need extra hands. Duluoxi immediately volunteered, armed with basic medical know-how. Cian also offered help, though the chaos made it hard to fully trust anyone. Just then, the hollow shell swarm outside stirred, attack imminent. Corporal Lee was pinned by sharp metal bars, bracing himself against the incoming horde. At the critical moment, a gun pressed to his shoulder with a curt order to cover his ears. Luo Di fired instantly, dropping a hollow shell in a blink. That precise shot saved Corporal Lee from disaster. Meanwhile, Chushuna and Duluoxi rushed to treat Huaide's severe wound. They discovered the steel bar likely pierced an artery, deadly serious. Right then, Kan Yu reappeared, making Wei wary of yet another ability user. The two clashed immediately as Wei faced Kan Yu head-on. Inside, Chushuna stared at the blood on her hands, knowing staying trapped meant repeating past tragedy. She quickly realized the key to breaking this stalemate. Her gaze slowly shifted to Linmo, the only one who could flip the board. Outside, Kan Yu attacked like a whirlwind, blades slashing straight at Wei. He dodged swiftly, reflexes barely keeping up with her speed. Still, her blade sliced his gun clean in half. Kan Yu sneered, saying his ability was interesting, too bad he sided with sinners. Wei realized she might be from the Prophet Society, targeting Subject Zero. She coaxed him, asking if he wished to return to where he truly belonged. She reminded him he was an ability user, holy son, never meant for the security bureau. Surely, she hinted, something on that side still mattered to him. Her words summoned memories of a purple-haired girl from his past. Wei gripped his broken gun, knowing she aimed to shake his resolve. He recalled the dead of yesterday and the living of today. That thought clarified his choice. He aimed at Kan Yu, declaring he stood only where people still needed protection. And Linmo was the key to ending the icebound catastrophe. Suddenly, a monster lunged into the car, but Kevin and La Kiao handled it in time. Kevin anxiously asked about the med team as pressure mounted by the second. Amid chaos, Chushuna quietly moved to Auntie Linmo. Kevin instantly grabbed her hand, suspecting a scheme. Chushuna coldly replied, given the situation, what other choice was there? Outside, a whole pack of monsters waited to tear them apart. Not to mention a deadly ability user still hunting them. Outside, Kan Yu charged at blinding speed, forcing Wei to fire repeatedly. But bullets passed through her body and vanished, dealing 0 damage. Wei froze, realizing his attacks were useless. Kan Yu then leapt onto Linmo's car roof, readying the final strike. She landed with an arrogant smile, certain of victory. Inside, Chushuna shoved Kevin aside, shouting what he was waiting for. Kevin finally gambled and backed her plan. Chushuna swiftly injected Linmo in the neck, awakening the final trump card. After finishing the monster, Kan Yu turned to Linmo, still wearing her winner's grin. Right then, Linmo's eyes snapped open, eerie blue light blazing in his pupils. He jolted upright, and Kan Yu instantly called him the lost holy son. But when their eyes met, she froze, clearly recognizing who he really was. A surge of blue energy exploded, blasting Kan Yu off the car. After the outburst, Linmo collapsed, strange blue fluid seeping from his body. He realized in confusion that he was unusually weak, and even wearing a mask. Chushuna stepped in and removed the mask to check him. She explained she injected LHC solution to trigger his state. Oddly calm, Linmo casually commented on her hairstyle instead. Suspecting he wasn't fully awake, Chushuna smacked his head like fixing a glitchy TV. Linmo tried to stand but quickly felt his energy tank was nearly empty. Chushuna sternly told him everyone's lives now depended on him. Outside, La Kiao kept firing, barely holding off the encircling monsters. But their overwhelming numbers were draining him fast. Chishuna urgently asked for sweets. Linmo needed sugar stat. Most energy supplies were back at the apartment, worsening the deadlock. Just then, Maji quietly offered her chocolate bar. Linmo hesitated since it was from her father, but her mother insisted he take it. Faced with Maji's determination, Linmo reluctantly accepted. Seeing the familiar brand triggered a flood of bad memories. Yet one bite later, his body flared with radiant blue light. At that moment, another monster lunged at Lao Qiao. He panicked out of bullets and out of options. In the nick of time, Linmo dashed out, shouting for him to cover his ears. With a single clap, the monster was crushed by an invisible, terrifying force. Lao Qiao stared in horror. A mere clap caused that devastation. Linmo smiled mysteriously as blue streaks spread across his face. He stepped forward, crushing the corpse underfoot like reclaimed power incarnate. The surrounding monsters began to panic, sensing something far scarier. Linmo noticed their reaction and started connecting the dots. Sure enough, the entire horde turned tail and fled from him. Meanwhile, Agent Wei radioed and they were in serious trouble. From afar, Can Yu watched the fleeing monsters and laughed arrogantly. She remarked that even hollow shells feared a powerful holy sun. She then formally introduced herself as Han Jinyu, leader of the Prophet Society. Linmo instantly recognized it as an anti-government cult and flatly refused. Han Jinyu's smile vanished the moment he rejected her offer. She transformed into a massive serpent-like shadow and lunged at Linmo. Her slash carried violet energy that tore through space, putting Linmo on alert. Linmo began suspecting Han Jinyu wielded more than one ability. He noticed shattered stones from her attack dissolving as if swallowed by the void. To test his theory, Linmo picked up a fragment of rock. He hurled it at Han Jinyu to probe her power. The stone vanished into smoke on contact, leaving Linmo stunned. Holes appeared in Han Jinyu's body, then healed instantly as if linked to another dimension. She quickly realized Linmo's strike was merely a test. Han Jinyu smiled mysteriously. Per the pastor, his ability was far more terrifying. Linmo stayed calm outwardly but grew wary of this unpredictable foe. Behind him, Chushuna checked the energy meter and saw his condition was dire. He had only recovered about 13% of his power, the parasite still dormant. Facing another ability user like this was a dangerously uneven match. Linmo knew he couldn't use his trump card, forcing extreme caution. Just then, Han Jinyu leapt high and slashed down like lightning. She landed with thrilled eyes, delighted he managed to dodge. She admitted Linmo's speed was no joke. Gritting his teeth, Linmo charged and threw a full-power punch to break her defense. The blow shook the surrounding air violently. Yet Han Jinyu stood firm, completely unscathed. Linmo was stunned. His attack did absolutely nothing. His arm passed straight through her like punching empty space. Han Jinyu laughed, revealing her ability was tied to space itself. She stepped closer, making his arm sink even deeper into her body. At such close range, Linmo couldn't use sound waves to counterattack. Suddenly, she cupped his face and stared into his heterochromatic eyes. She whispered those eyes looked exactly like the speaker's. Linmo jerked back as strange purple streaks began staining his arm. Just then, Han Jinyu's communicator buzzed with new developments. The pastor reported they'd found the Security Bureau base and ordered a shift to Target 13. Hearing that, Han Jinyu regretfully said today's game had to end. She raised her twin blades into a cross, preparing to withdraw. Violet light erupted fiercely from the crossed swords. Linmo was blasted far away by the force. When the light faded, Han Jinyu had vanished completely. Chushuna immediately ran over to check on Linmo. At that moment, engine roars and strong winds thundered from above. Linmo looked up to see helicopters approaching. A security bureau squad descended and swiftly formed ranks. Soon Linmo and Chushuna were surrounded by blinding flashlights. An officer stepped forward, reporting Subject Zero secured. The crowd parted, revealing two bureau heavyweights, Gao Di and Barbara Ripley. At the sight of Barbara, Chushuna instantly took a defensive stance. Barbara sneered, recalling their promise to meet in hell. Chushuna shielded Linmo, clearly sensing trouble. Jadi stepped in, claiming he wished to explain their purpose. He bluntly stated they needed ability user Zero to investigate the Icebound event. Chushuna immediately warned Linmo not to trust him. She insisted their true aim was continuing Project Europa. Barbara frowned. She'd never heard of such a project. Jadi panicked upon realizing Chushuna knew about Europa. She admitted it was a guess, but his reaction confirmed everything. Jadi coldly warned she had crossed the line. Instantly, a distant sniper locked onto Chushuna's head. But Linmo dashed forward and caught the bullet midair. Chushuna smiled confidently. She knew it'd protect her. Linmo mocked that silencing witnesses like this was straight out of a movie. Barbara grabbed Gauda's collar, demanding answers about Europa. Jadi coldly ordered her removed from the scene. Soldiers dragged Barbara away as she kept shouting accusations. Chushuna whispered that Linmo's energy was nearly depleted. Seeing blue streaks on his hand, Linmo knew time was short. Jiaodi immediately ordered Subject Zero captured and Chushuna killed. Linmo stood before her, declaring he wouldn't run anymore. Then he pulled her into his arms and told her to hold tight. The two shot skyward in a trail of blue light. Jiaodi was stunned by the terrifying speed. Barbara angrily blamed him for trying to coerce Subject Zero. She used a restraining technique that forced Gao Di to his knees. Panicked, he asked what to do next. Barbara decided to retreat to base. Too many secrets remained unresolved. Meanwhile, Linmo carried Chushuna crashing through a building's glass window. He shielded her with his body, then coughed violently from exhaustion. Chushuna instantly realized his condition was dire. Blue fluid began leaking from tears in Linmo's body. Yet Chushuna calmly ran off to look for something. She found a corpse nearby and began examining it. It seemed two survivors had killed each other over resources. Hearing that, Linmo fell silent, old painful memories resurfacing. Chushuna snapped him back, reminding him he needed to eat now. Soon, she whipped up a chaotic hotpot from scavenged ingredients. She defended her bizarre cooking as optimal resource use, while Linmo could only sigh. Watching her suspicious food prep, Linmo seriously doubted this doctor could cook at all. Hitting a nerve, Chushuna shot back, she saves lives, not cooks meals, bad cooking is it the apocalypse. To end the debate, she stuffed a steaming potato into his mouth, making him yelp. As they bickered over hot carbs and calories, a trembling girl secretly watched from behind a wall. Chushuna checked her suit battery, almost drained, meaning the cold would soon win. Just as she considered leaving, she spotted a shadow behind Linmo and went on full alert. She stepped in front of him, gun drawn, coldly ordering the hidden figure out before things escalated. From behind the wall, a shaky voice claimed she meant no harm and wanted to explain. The girl tripped while stepping out, her baseball bat smacking her own head, tragic yet absurd. Even so, Chushuna kept her gun trained, demanding identity and motive. The girl introduced herself as Penny, a scavenger, not a monster, she promised. Seeing they seemed stranded, Penny offered to guide them to a nearby survivor base. Chushuna suspected a trap, but Linmo felt Penny oddly familiar. Penny suddenly recognized Linmo as the regular cigarette buyer from the convenience store near his apartment. Caught, Linmo awkwardly admitted they'd indeed met before. Thrilled he was alive, Penny clung to him and eagerly insisted on leading them to shelter. She guided them to a subway entrance, revealing the survivor base lay below. Many had hidden in the station, accidentally dodging the monster wave above ground. The place had been converted into a survival base under a station master's leadership. Walking the corridor, Chushuna noticed strange wall drawings and felt uneasy. She recognized a familiar eye symbol, sensing ties to a troubling organization. Beside the eye was a slogan about the Holy Sun saving humanity, making the vibe downright cultish. Reaching the station, Penny proudly introduced it as the survivors' new home. A white-robed figure praying before the eye symbol turned toward them. Faith was clearly involved. Penny quickly handed over her supplies, explaining she risked going out to meet base quotas. Then the station master appeared, a blonde woman in a police uniform, radiating authority. Penny hurriedly added she went out because her sick brother needed extra supplies. She also introduced Linmo and Chushuna as newly found survivors. Linmo and Chushuna quietly observed, gauging whether this woman was the true leader. The station master calmly ordered the usual protocol: newcomers required inspection. Immediately, people with bats surrounded them, tension rising like a trial about to begin. The station master lifted Linmo's chin, saying a quick check would reveal everything. After seeing the mark on him, she showed sudden shock. Trembling, she recognized the special circular symbol, the sign of the one they worship. Instantly, the entire station knelt, welcoming Linmo as the Holy Sun returned. Chushuna realized they might belong to the Prophet Society, though they showed no hostility for now. Reverently, the station master declared they had long awaited the Holy Sun and his holy sovereign. She recounted how since the apocalypse began, they'd been abandoned underground with no rescue. In that despair, they believed only the Holy Sun could lead them through the apocalypse. The station master said she never believed in gods until she saw holy suns with her own eyes. Watching one fight convinced her miracles truly existed in this hellish world. After that attack, they joined the Prophet Society, turning the station into a shelter serving holy suns. Before leaving, a holy sun prophesied that someone with the sacred halo eyes would return. They waited nearly in despair until Linmo actually appeared. So the station master pleaded the shelter needed the Holy Sun. His arrival was hope itself. Hearing hope, Linmo gazed at them thoughtfully. In this brutal apocalypse, hope was rarer than food. Benny respectfully offered supplies, treating him as the true Holy Sun. Seeing the food boxes, Linmo realized this was their so-called sacred offering. The station master explained sacred food sustained the Holy Sun's combat power, the base's shield. Chushuna saw through it instantly. The Prophet Society turned survivors into servants. Someone worried aloud that food was running out, making their sacrifices even sadder. Still, the station master insisted on keeping the Holy Sun as protection outweighed rations. Watching their blind faith, Linmo understood they were being used. He glanced at Chushuna, resolve forming in his eyes. She stopped him, warning they wouldn't believe the truth if exposed now. Linmo only smiled confidently. He had a plan. He stepped before the station master, calling her Hannah, and spoke directly. If he was their hope, he asked, what exactly should he do for this place? Every eye in the station turned to him, awaiting the Holy Sun's decree. Then Linmo got to work, building a planting room inside a train car to secure food. He repaired electricity and heating, forcing the base to stand on its own instead of praying. Chushuna teased that he looked more like a saintly savior than a holy sun. She was annoyed he was helping members of the Prophet Society, the same group that deceived them. Linmo shook his head. This wasn't simple kindness. It was an exchange of trust. They believed in him, so he gave them a chance. His power drained massive energy, so he needed a steady supply like sacred food. Recalling how Chushuna once saved him from deadly heat, he showed he valued help. On the surface, his goal mirrored the Prophet Society, get people working to survive. The difference, no deception or exploitation, just trust and goodwill. Growing serious, Linmo mentioned Chushuna once said he trusted too easily. He admitted his past was cold, robbing and killing only to be betrayed by teammates. Had he trusted his friend Mingming more, that betrayal might have been avoided. In the end, Linmo concluded all apocalyptic tragedies stem from human weakness. Weakness breeds selfishness and cruelty, leading humanity to destroy itself. Chushuna understood survival required unity and productive strength. She grabbed Linmo's collar, saying the one who could unite everyone stood right here. Chuckling, Chushuna admitted Shed changed her view of him. Just then, Benny rushed over to report to the Holy Sun only to trip flat on her face. Flustered, she said they'd found something extremely abnormal beneath the station. She led Linmo and Chushuna into a dark maintenance tunnel, discovered during electrical repairs. At the tunnel's end stood a secret steel door, clearly not part of any normal subway structure. One glance and Chushuna recognized the clue, definitely not civilian construction. While Benny imagined creepy subway legends, the other two pegged it as a government facility. Linmo calmed Benny and told her to keep everyone away from this danger zone. Chushuna pulled out an old staff ID and slid it into the door's verification system. The sluggish scanner checked her identity, earning her sarcasm about its ancient tech. Linmo was surprised, thought Shed left the agency long ago. She coolly said she retired. In truth, the card wasn't hers but belonged to an agent named Joanna. Ignoring Linmo's judgmental stare, Chushuna casually used someone else's credentials. Access granted, Linmo gallantly let her open the secret base door. She manually powered up the system, discovering an independent underground power supply. Even she didn't know the exact purpose of this hidden facility. Linmo examined nearby equipment for clues about its function. Thick dust suggested it had been abandoned for ages. Yet the stable indoor temperature hinted at hidden heating still running. The deeper they went, the stranger it felt. No ordinary abandoned site. Chushuna noticed outdated hardware arranged with surprisingly modern design. Their question was answered upon entering the control room. Screens lit up with the National Security Bureau emblem. Chushuna realized the government hid a security base beneath the subway. A prompt demanded an agreement code. She recalled an old password tied to a top-secret project. Entering Project Europa, the system instantly granted access. The entire base began rebooting and updating data. Minutes later, the central program fully activated. Calling itself Icebreaker Hammer, it greeted the agent and pledged support against the frozen winter. Chushuna asked in surprise what this system was truly built for. The AI explained it analyzed IC disaster data to guide strategic decisions. It served as Project Europa's logistics hub, currently active only in Brooklyn. Both realized the government had foreknowledge of the global freeze. Furious, Chushuna slammed the table. This truth had been buried by the Bureau. She erupted, thinking of countless deaths caused by hidden secrets. Linmo sensed her bond with the agency was more complicated than he thought. He also guessed the organization knew about ability users. That's why they hunted him before. Just as tension rose, the system issued an emergency alert. Screens showed a large group moving along the railway toward the station. Among them, Chushuna recognized a familiar face and froze. The system warned the group would reach the platform within 30 minutes. Chushuna hurried out, intent on meeting Barbara to question the convoy. Linmo insisted on going along, wary of hollow shells in the tunnel. Icebreaker Hammer warned the tunnel temperature was extreme and advised specialized protective suits. Linmo marveled at the AI's intelligence. Chushuna quipped that tax money finally paid off. Seeing her suit battery nearly dead, she admitted it was time for new gear. In equipment room B3, Linmo still didn't get why he needed a suit too. Chushuna answered by tossing the equipment case straight at his head. Rubbing his skull, Linmo complained had already adapted to the cold. She explained adaptations still burned calories without heat, he'd freeze like a popsicle. She introduced the biohazard suit fit for extreme climates and tactical gear. For Linmo, it would also reduce energy consumption when using abilities. While she changed and explained, Linmo froze like his brain hit airplane mode. Seeing the scars on Joshua's back, he couldn't help wondering what nightmare DLC her past included. Joshua caught his stare and turned around, asking if he'd heard a word she said. Linmo just stood there, eyes glued like they'd signed a lifetime lease. Joshua laughed, teasing that his powers clearly didn't nerf his male instincts. Linmo blushed so hard he got a nosebleed and fainted backward in peak embarrassment. Joshua had to stuff tissues in his nose and help him into his protective suit. While gearing up, Linmo noticed her sticking something onto the suit. Joshua explained it was a patch to cover the Security Bureau logo to avoid suspicion from the Prophet Society. Once dressed, Linmo felt the suit like a second skin that neatly reduced heat loss. Fully geared, the duo finally headed into the freezing tunnel. Before leaving, Linmo teased Joshua's short hair, earning himself an annoyed head start from her. At the station, Hannah issued an urgent alert for everyone to evacuate the western tunnel area. She ordered all survivors to temporarily relocate to the eastern section. The western tunnel was officially sealed off for safety. After praying to the holy god for protection, Hannah asked Linmo if the warning was accurate. Linmo simply smiled and thanked Hannah for playing along. Still suspicious, Hannah pressed him about what was really happening in the western tunnel. Unable to mention the security base, Linmo lied about a potential gas leak risk. Hannah eyed him skeptically, clearly not buying the bargain bin excuse. Linmo reassured her it was only temporary and things would settle after the investigation. Hannah finally handed him a communication device. She told Linmo to carry it during the investigation. The device was linked to the control station for real-time contact. Before he left, Hannah adjusted the logo covering patch on his suit. She said all the survivors here trusted the Holy Sun as their last hope. Gripping his shoulder, Hannah thanked Linmo for being the only Holy Sun who truly helped them. Linmo and Joshua then entered the pitch-black tunnel, its power completely cut. In the darkness, Linmo tried fixing the lighting system. Lucky he'd learned the skill in his past life. His repair attempt only managed to make a few bulbs flicker pathetically. Joshua argued the railway line was actually new, leaving Linmo scrambling for excuses. Suddenly, she covered his mouth, signaling silence and pointing at a shadow ahead. Linmo followed her gaze and instantly sensed something was seriously off. A group stood motionless in the tunnel, lifeless as if waiting for orders. Shuya quickly recognized someone among them, an acquaintance named Barbara. She rushed to call Barbara, but Linmo yanked her back, feeling the setup reeked of trouble. He noticed the group had faced the platform before, but now had their backs to them. Sensing a trap, Shuya drew her gun on high alert. Barbara's body began twitching before slowly turning its head. In that instant, they realized Barbara had become a hollow corpse. The monster lunged, white eyes glaring and blue blood oozing from its torn body. Linmo dashed forward, warning Shuya that this was clearly a trap. Shuya fired repeatedly, riddling the hollow corpse Barbara with bullets until it collapsed. She swiftly reloaded and kept her gun trained on the figures ahead. Linmo glanced at the empty magazine and sarcastically called that a slight slip of the hand. Shuya realized those civilians weren't humans turned hollow corpses. They were disguised creatures muttering endlessly in hollow corpse voices. Suddenly their bodies split open, revealing bizarre inner structures. A blinding beam of light then erupted through the tunnel. The glare was so intense Linmo had to shield his eyes. Even Shuya couldn't endure it and turned away. Within the light, a strange voice echoed inside Shuya's mind. The scene before her shifted into two former colleagues standing beside her. They cheerfully handed her a birthday gift, saying they'd taken it from storage just for her. The gift was a 3D printed red team trinket, since the unit offered neither leave nor bonuses. Shuya smiled warmly at the memory before the illusion popped like a soap bubble. Linmo opened his eyes and realized that flash was a straight-up mental attack. In front of him now stood dozens of Shuya clones aiming guns at each other. Staring at a crowd of identical doctors, Linmo could only nurse a migraine. The copies kept screaming they were the real one, turning chaos into a circus. Suddenly, the real Shuya yanked an earring off her ear. She tossed it to Linmo as a not-so-subtle ID signal. Even with blood trickling from her ear, she smiled at him like, "You got the plan." Getting it, Linmo dove into the illusions to smash the trap. He used the hollow corpse's blue blood as a handy target marker. After cleaning up, Shuya shot him an extremely unamused look. She complained that he always splattered hollow corpse blood all over her. Then Shuya threw the remaining earring to Linmo. She coldly said Shed wanted to ditch the pair 3 years ago anyway, so congrats to him. Linmo held the earring, feeling less gifted and more like a recycling bin. Seeing his reaction, Shuya's eyes dimmed with complicated emotions. Linmo sensed the earrings probably carried some heavy backstory. He shelved the thought fast. The real quest was finding whoever controlled the hollow corpses. Shuya crouched to inspect the scene and asked Linmo to help find something crucial. She was searching for the core, the energy source found inside hollow corpses. Linmo asked if her core research had uncovered anything new. Shuya brought up the hound hollow corpse that slaughtered the apartment earlier. Linmo recalled that the hound specimen indeed had a core. Shuya explained that hollow corpses without cores were merely minions of a stronger primary specimen. So killing coreless minions was pointless if the main specimen kept spawning them. Hearing that, Linmo muttered as if a theory in his head just got confirmed. He analyzed that these monsters felt deliberately planted here for an ambush. Right then, an annoyed female voice rang out behind them, making both jump. They turned to see a strange girl standing there, visibly irritated. The girl, Irina, fumed that her carefully prepared hollow corpse simulations had been ruined. Irina's headset suddenly crackled with a teammate's inquiry. She snapped back that 2 strangers wrecked the plan and even killed the hollow corpses. Irina insisted they weren't from the National Security Bureau, just nobodies. Hearing her rude remarks, both Shuya and Linmo bristled. The person on the other end seemed to realize something about Irina's target. They quickly grasped the situation and tried to warn her. But Irina, already furious, cursed Linmo outright and prepared to strike. The voice urged her to stop, saying the council speaker had ordered no contact with the target. Enraged over the failed plan, Irina brushed off every command. She ripped off her headset and crushed it under her heel. Irina roared that today they would all die to satisfy her anger. She lunged at the two without hesitation. Shuya fired repeatedly, but the bullets did 0 damage. Irina switched targets to Linmo and charged straight at him. Her blow was easily blocked by Linmo. Black light flared around Linmo as he decided he was done dodging. A layer of black armor covered him completely, like a shiny new evolution. Irina froze at the sight of this abnormal transformation. Even Shuya was stunned, seeing Linmo seemingly fully fused with his armor. The parasite inside him explained it had merged with the protective suit to form a new combat mode. But Irina began mutating too, a grotesque tail sprouting from her back. Green slime coated her body into biological armor as she challenged Linmo to fight. Irina drew her gun and fired while dashing straight at him. Calmly, Linmo slashed each bullet in half before they could touch him. Irina spun into a fierce kick, yet Linmo dodged effortlessly like it was recess. He countered instantly, red claws stabbing straight into her abdomen. But his claw stopped short, blocked by a bizarre blue glow around Irina. The parasite surfaced on Linmo's back, warning that this wasn't your average shield. Irina suddenly spat a sword from her mouth and went on an all-out offensive. She launched another kick, but Linmo still hopped away in time. Shuya rushed in to cover him, saying Shed figured out the shield's nature. She explained that electron forces prevent objects from passing through each other. Her guess, Irina, was manipulating that force between her body, the air, and the ground. Hearing this, Linmo looked at his hand and noticed something odd. His fingertips had turned a blazing red. He asked Jo Shuya if that force could be converted into energy. When she said yes, Linmo grinned, shield cracked in theory. Jo Shuya sensed his dangerous idea and tried to stop him, but Irina charged again, rudely interrupting science class. Linmo blocked her sword with his red claws, confirming his hypothesis. Irina countered hard, blasting him into the air. She mocked that he finally couldn't dodge. Linmo stared coldly, clearly ready to end it. He asked Irina if she'd finished making noise, then declared it was his turn. Linmo burst forward at explosive speed. Irina blocked the first kick but felt his speed spike insanely. Two Linmos suddenly appeared behind her, like a surround sound nightmare. She realized they weren't clones, just speed beyond her reflex limit. Only then did she notice the strange red energy on his claws. Horror hit as she felt her own energy being drained. To her, Linmo now looked like a bloodthirsty demon siphoning his foe dry. From afar, Jo Shuya instantly grasped his plan. She compared it to the piezoelectric effect, materials generating electricity under pressure. Linmo's relentless strikes turned shield pressure into energy. That energy was immediately absorbed back into his body. After a storm of blows, Linmo finally pierced Irina's body. He coldly stated that no shield in this world is absolute. In agony, Irina screamed, demanding why he ruined their plan. Linmo forced her to reveal the real scheme behind the hollow corpses. He pressed whether the freezing and monsters were tied to her organization. Irina only sneered, saying he understood nothing. Suddenly, her body linked with his, warping the surrounding space. Linmo realized he was being dragged into Irina's memory to witness the truth. In the station memory, Irina received orders from a mysterious council speaker who stressed the prey must stay alive. The man suddenly sensed someone watching, sending chills down Linmo's spine. This wasn't a normal memory. The real shock came when Linmo saw the speaker had his exact face, only half demon. Forced to ask, Linmo questioned his identity, but the man just laughed. He already knew. Linmo admitted the terrifying truth: this was the original owner of his body from a parallel universe. The man read his thoughts and mocked that his soul hadn't vanished when Linmo transmigrated. He shed his skin, revealing a chained half-man body, saying Linmo's leftover hollow corpse shell led him here. Seeing the familiar scars, Linmo connected everything to his former death and demanded details of the plan. The council speaker appeared behind him, calmly stating Linmo could stop the plan anyway. He bluntly said the real goal was accelerating the freezing process, as if time itself was forcing their hand. He then pierced Linmo's body, coldly claiming they had no other choice. The moment had arrived. Calling this body a welcome gift, darkness swallowed everything, jolting Linmo awake. Waking to Irina before him, Linmo recognized the scene and knew he was back in reality. Not letting her ramble, Linmo kicked her in the stomach, forcing her back to normal. Linmo instantly aimed his gun at Irina's head, locking things down before she could try anything funny. He warned that her energy was nearly drained, so she'd better explain the accelerated freezing plan. Irina went on guard, baffled how Linmo even knew that secret. Cornered, she lowered her tone and asked him to stay calm before she talked. She admitted the entire plan came from the council speaker, and underlings like her never got the full script. Irina confessed she cooperated only because she was promised a return to her original timeline to settle personal grudges. Jo Shuya stepped in, having heard everything, and coldly joined the interrogation. Jo Shuya pointed out they were using doomsday theory as a moral coupon for their crimes. She glanced at Linmo, checking if he bought that apocalyptic excuse. Linmo sneered. Even a few extra days of life meant stopping these lunatics. Irina laughed scornfully, daring them to explain how they'd stop the organization. Instead of answering, Linmo asked about brainwashing refugees into loyal followers. Irina arrogantly admitted it, clueless that every word was being recorded. She mocked the weaklings, saying a sprinkle of fake hope was enough to leash them. Right then, Linmo lifted the walkie-talkie and asked if everyone heard her confession loud and clear. Irina froze, realizing too late she'd walked straight into a trap. Over the radio, Hannah confirmed she'd received Linmo's signal. She stated the entire conversation had been fully recorded. Not only that, Hannah broadcast the recording to all stations on Line 6, meaning the whole subway network just got a dose of ugly truth. Linmo stepped closer to Irina and calmly repeated her earlier challenge. Across the stations, former believers erupted in anger as their faith crumbled. Linmo looked her in the eye and said stopping them was simple: destroy the fake hope they built. Jo Shuya reluctantly praised Linmo, admitting the plan struck at the enemy's foundation. But Irina suddenly burst into manic laughter, her eyes glowing like she'd been waiting for this. Linmo and Jo Shuya were confused. Her energy should have been drained, yet she was gearing up again. 30 minutes earlier, when Linmo spoke with Hannah, she had respectfully asked the Holy Sun for instructions. Before leaving, Linmo turned back and demanded Hannah answer one question honestly. He bluntly asked whether she truly believed in the Prophet Society, or was just pretending. Cutting off her scripted reply, Linmo forced her to drop the act. Hannah finally confessed she didn't believe at all, and only pretended to protect the refugees. She self-mocked that a former stripper becoming a station chief in the apocalypse was absurd. Linmo insisted she wasn't pitiful, she was still trying to help others in chaos. Hearing she wanted out of the Prophet Society too, Linmo seized the opportunity. He proposed teaming up to expose the Society's true agenda and break their control. Before leaving, Linmo told Hannah to stop calling him Holy Sun and just use his name. Back in the present, Linmo and Jo Shuya prepared to fire as Irina showed signs of fleeing. The barrage hit and Irina collapsed as if finally defeated. But a violent golden light erupted around her, forcing them to cease fire. As the light exploded, Linmo grabbed Jo Shuya and leapt clear of the blast zone. Staring at the shattered wall, Joshua was stunned, unsure what power Arena had used. Linmo mentioned their earlier fight, reminding her of the dangerous substance called infusion. Outside, Cross was carrying the heavily injured Arena away from the chaos. Despite her wounds, Cross reminded her that even healing abilities had limits. Seeing Irina weakly apologize, Cross teased that he didn't know she could feel regret. Irina still managed to flip him off, proving her stubborn streak was alive and well. She muttered for Cross not to tell Hannah about this before slipping into exhaustion. Back at the base, Linmo sensed the vibe had turned awkwardly chilly. When he stepped closer, the refugees instinctively backed away like he was the monster. Linmo realized they now feared him after the Prophet Society's lies were exposed. Joshua reminded him he knew exactly why. He admitted their faith had just shattered. When belief collapses, suspicion and panic rush in, especially in the apocalypse. Linmo tried explaining the Prophet Society staged everything to enslave them. Someone shot back that he was a holy son too, so he couldn't be trusted. Even so, Linmo stayed calm, knowing their doubt was inevitable. An agitator demanded he prove he was different, cranking up the tension. Linmo refused to use force, knowing it would only confirm their fears. Joshua asked bluntly what he planned to do as the crowd edged toward chaos. He knew if this dragged on, they'd mentally collapse like he once did. A gunshot rang out as Hannah stepped forward to restore order. Everyone immediately bowed their heads, calling her station chief her authority still held. Hannah faced the crowd and told them to calm down and listen. She began with the familiar prophecy: when disaster strikes, the savior shall return. Linmo added that without Hannah, this station would fallen long ago. Meanwhile, golden light kept surging around Arena, signaling a strange awakening. Hannah declared that in the apocalypse, the savior would appear among humans in human form. She stressed God never abandoned them, they were merely blinded by evil. Linmo didn't get her angle, but Joshua stopped him as the crowd fell silent. Hannah continued, saying everyone here was a child of God. A man echoed her, proclaiming that God loved them. The prayer spread like a choir, voices rising in unison. Then Hannah posed the hook: who truly is the savior? She said the savior feeds the hungry and teaches survival. That person brings fire and warmth to those freezing in despair. Anyone who does these things deserves to be called the Messiah. Her gaze locked on Linmo as she declared such a person was the true Messiah. Only then did Linmo realize she was redirecting their faith. Penny rushed up, confirming Linmo was the one who kept them alive. She listed how he fixed heaters, rebuilt train cars, and solved food shortages. Hannah added that Linmo exposed the false prophet's scheme. In the crowd's eyes, Linmo began to shine as their new anchor. Joshua looked at Hannah with clear admiration for her tactical brilliance. Cries of Messiah echoed before the crowd slowly dispersed. As people left, Linmo exhaled. The crisis was finally diffused. He sincerely thanked Hannah for stabilizing things at the perfect moment. Hannah asked if he wanted thanks as a man or as a savior. Linmo laughed, insisting he was just an ordinary human. Hannah smiled, knowing that's what truly set him apart. She shook Linmo's hand and thanked him for what he'd done for the station. Then she said she still had one important piece of advice. She whispered that to lead people, you sometimes must speak in ways they understand. Hannah explained the refugees' religious background meant framing things through their lens. Joshua added that fools see only suffering and despair. The wise see the essence and guide others toward hope. Linmo blinked, still half lost in their layered wisdom. Hannah hurried off, plenty of station business awaiting her. After she left, Linmo asked Joshua if he'd misunderstood something. The two then returned to their underground headquarters to plan the next move. Joshua bluntly asked what the next move was now that things were temporarily stable. Linmo said even if the refugees woke up, their base was still flimsy as cardboard. Joshua revealed the facility was originally designed as a long-term shelter. Linmo realized activating the system could turn it into a true survival stronghold. Right then, an emergency signal flashed up, projecting a little girl named Maggie. Linmo and Joshua instantly recognized her. Maggie trembled in fear, begging for help as a monster surrounded her and her mother. On a quiet New Year's Eve, Linmo's phone suddenly rang nonstop in his apartment. Dragged from sleep, he grumbled into the phone, demanding who dared call at this hour. It was Joshua, sounding urgently breathless on the line. Pouring coffee, Linmo complained she only called when trouble paid a visit. Joshua begged him not to hang up, swearing this was a McGorgent job. Linmo snapped back, knowing she loved slapping the urgent label on everything. Joshua played her trump card: this case could clear all his debts. Hearing creditor Lua Delong's name, Linmo recalled near-death threats and surrendered. Sighing, he asked for the meeting spot while Joshua grinned in victory. The two hurried to a diner to meet the waiting client. The client introduced himself as Kurt Cobain, representing the TikTok platform. He said they sought Linmo for his fame as Chinatown's top detective. The issue's superstar streamer Ming Ming with millions of fans had vanished. The company called the police but couldn't rely on them, so they hired a detective. They needed Linmo to find Ming Ming before a crucial New Year livestream. When the deposit was revealed, both Linmo and Joshua's eyes lit up. Though annoyed about working on New Year's, Linmo smelled serious money. He told Joshua to log the case he was in. The trio went to Ming Ming's apartment for clues, despite prior police checks. Skipping manners, Linmo broke the lock, convinced answers hid inside. He immediately rummaged through her diary, shocking Kurt over the privacy invasion. The diary revealed Ming Ming wanted to quit and fly home for New Year. Kurt nearly collapsed without her. The livestream would sink the company. Desperate, he clung to Linmo's leg, begging him to save the company from bankruptcy. Linmo realized if the company folded, so did his paycheck. Joshua sweetly reminded him his debt still loomed overhead. Cornered by fate, Linmo agreed to help but demanded extra pay. They returned to the company to hatch a wildly insane plan. Linmo was transformed into a Ming Ming clone via makeup and cosplay. He protested why Joshua couldn't do it, and she casually claimed she was too fat. Suspecting a scam, Linmo was still shoved into the livestream seat. Thanks to DickDoc's AI tech, his face and voice perfectly matched Ming Ming's. Joshua smugly declared the plan flawless and started the stream. Linmo slipped into character smoothly, selling products to thousands of viewers. Suddenly, Kurt turned pale, recalling something extremely dangerous. Ming Ming's #1 fan was Luo Dalong, the Chinatown crime boss. Right on cue, Luo Dalong showed up looking for Ming Ming, making Linmo sweat bullets. Luo began inspecting the surroundings, sensing something off. A henchman handed him a phone showing Ming Ming's ongoing livestream. Comparing the screen to Linmo in front of him, Luo Dalong instantly spotted the fake. In a secret New York lab, a man identical to Linmo appeared, confirming this was the ideal timeline. He approached a tank holding a girl with only her upper body left, like a lab specimen. He called her Experiment Nopoi 13 Red Deer, dripping with mockery. Touching the tank, he said their future required her power. Specifically, he wanted to harvest the strength born from her rage. Meanwhile, at the Manhattan refugee camp, chaos erupted after Linmo vanished. The injured were swiftly taken by Joanna to the military medical ward for treatment. The doctor reassured everyone the wounds were treated in time and the victim would survive. At Command Center, Zhao Di barked nonstop orders to reinforce defenses near monster zones. Barbara stormed in yelling Baldi, and Gao Di instantly sensed incoming chaos. He hurriedly dismissed his subordinates before their argument exploded. Barbara fumed, but Gao Di held her back, escalating the shouting match. Meanwhile, an agent rushed over to find Cobbin with news of a new mission. He handed Cobbin a new ID, had officially become an awakened agent. Cobbin accepted it, though hesitation flickered in his eyes. He asked Xiao Bai whether his pre-awakening pass was even real. With no clear answer, Cobbin awkwardly laughed it off as nonsense. He tried to escape the thought by leaving to write his action report. But Xiao Bai suddenly called him back, making him turn around. Xiao Bai said he understood the doubt gnawing at Cobbin's past. He admitted he too once wished his painful memories were just a dream. Their talk was cut short when a cheerful young woman approached. She introduced herself as Marguerite Bridges, a detective from NYPD. Huai politely greeted her out of old habit, earning a laugh from Bridges. Cobbin watched closely, starting to suspect something between them. Bridges explained she came after hearing survivors were found in Brooklyn. She assured them the civilians had been safely sent for medical checks. Huai praised her dedication, and she replied disasters always need someone to act. She suddenly sneezed, worrying Huai and deepening Cobbin's suspicion. Bridges brushed it off with a smile and kept walking. She casually asked Huai if a field agent could leave without orders. Then she gazed at the Statue of Liberty, hoping someone could adapt to this new reality. At the same time, inside the National Security Agency headquarters on Liberty Island, a subordinate entered with a report, instantly changing Gaudi's expression. The office door shut as a classified briefing began. Though Subject Zero had escaped, the subordinate claimed to have found another lead. Outside, Barbara scowled at the closed door, annoyed at being excluded again.